Yo, yo. Anybody home? Okay.
Oh shit! There it is. My
What's
mic
going
was
on?
on.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, volume's not up. Hello?
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
How you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm getting better.
That's great, man. That's fucking great.
I mean, I never felt bad in the first place. It was just the sudden weight draw, the sudden weight loss,
Uh-huh.
the constant urination, the constant fatigue, the blurred vision, all that stuff put together. I was like, something's not right.
Yeah, man. But I'm glad you got checked out, man. That's fucking awesome. We got a lot of shit to talk about. Not VR related, but I'm pretty sure you can fill us in on that part.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a busy fucking holiday week.
Yeah,
It's
I
been
mean,
busy.
all in all,
It
since
wasn't
the, I
much this
mean,
week, but we got some stuff at the edge.
mm-hmm.
Like a
I
mini.
also want to give you the heads up. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to give you the heads up that
Okay.
and after about an hour, I got a split. One of the subs on my channel, I promised them that I would play Fight Night with them, and
Cool.
and I've made this promise like about a month ago, and and I swore up and down we'll get it done this weekend.
We
So
talking about Night, the boxing game?
yeah,
Like what system?
on the Xbox, it's whatever you want to call it, some form of backwards compatibility, but
You know,
yeah, you can.
and I wish they would bring that game back.
Mm-hmm.
I just really wish they would bring that game back. But yeah, I understand. You got obligation. That's cool. I think Sam might be in here later on today, but we got to see because I don't think he came in the party chat. But he'll probably be dropping it.
Yeah. As far as VR news, I think since the last time I've been on the Legion, a lot has happened, but I can't remember half of it. But I guess as little tidbits pop into my head, I'll just try to say it as I can fit it in.
I just had an epiphany.
What'd you have? What just flashed?
Everything, man. This is July. We got Comic-Con coming up this month. Marvel said they're going back to fucking Hall H, which is big. We already know about Iron Man VR, but it hasn't been updated to the public or played. Avengers, they got to talk about that shit. Talk about the future of Spider-Man or Spider-Man games. But they said they're going back to Hall H. And, the Spider-Man movie, this new one was the last of this phase. I think it was phase 3. So everything else going forward, they're gonna, it's going to the future now. Like, so that's big. But it's fucking
Yeah.
Comic-Con for God's sakes. They're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff.
Speaking of these Spider-Man movies, I went to go see Spider-Man Far From Home, and I won't spoil it. It was it was a great movie.
Yeah.
But I will say that I think now is probably time for Spider-Man to mature a little bit.
Oh yeah, so this is what I wanted to tell you about the Spider-Man. So this is what I heard online. That he has a big contract. He has almost like a Robert Downey Jr. contract, but bigger, actually, because of course Spider-Man was always more popular than Iron Man, and still is to this day. And what that is you have a trilogy, right? The trilogy is in high school, right? Now, this is the sequel to Homecoming, and I think they're still like they're in high school, and the next one should be like the last grade. So I'm guessing they're in 10th grade, right? I'm guessing they're in 10th grade, and the next Spider-Man should be taking place at the very edge of high school going into college. But they're definitely not going to do, one movie, high school, college, adult life, like they did with Tobey Maguire. Like in one movie, he went from the last year of high school, past college, and went into adult life and got a job. So if that's true, or if any of it is true, that's pretty dope. That he has such a big contract, and of course Spider-Man has to mature. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know the parts you're talking about. It seemed like very like a school drama. I mean, a school romance story instead of a mature adult romance story. And I can't help but fight the feeling they clearly are gonna they did it the second time because those actors look so young. You know, that was all a part of the casting. They have these baby faces, and you know, as long as they keep having these baby faces, you know, they're gonna do this type of stuff. And you got to remember, the chick, she was an original Disney actress. You know, she did a lot of Disney shows. So you know, Disney owns Marvel, and that's what they want. I think it'll mature a little bit more.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. You make it a great
Yeah.
point. But there was a couple of signs in the movie that shows that he's ready to mature.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, he sees how the world works. He sees that you can't trust everybody. And he also, compared to any other Spider-Man, he sees that you can't be naive. I believe that this is the first time that we saw Peter Parker on you know, on the movies where he understands that people will, you know, fuck him over, and he got to be hard. You know, Peter Parker learned that later on in life. This one's learning it in high school. So going forward in this Peter Parker's adult life, he should definitely understand that he can't just, you know, do what he's been doing up until this point. I love this story though. There's no Uncle Ben, even though there's an Uncle Ben, and you know, they said they might put him in there later or something. I don't know, but they, you know, I really
they can't, according to you know, according to canon, they can't put him in there.
They can or they can't.
They can't.
Oh, why? Why not?
Well, according to the origin of Spider-Man, that is what prompted him to start becoming a crime fighter.
Why not?
Well, according to the origin.
Oh, 1 second. You're probably right about that.
Because right. I mean, I can't say that because I don't feel like that would be a spoiler. Because anybody who's like, because you know, I've gone through stretches in my life where I've been a hardcore comic book enthusiast. You know, and even in my early years, through my teens and stuff like that, I used to draw a lot of pictures. I would, as a kid, I would go to the store and buy these comic books, and they would be like, you know, from a comic book store where they sold used comic books. I would buy them for like 2-3 cents a nickel, you know, and I would buy like a stack of them, and I would bring them home, and I would, you know, go through the books and see what pictures I like, and I would draw that picture. And so where I'm going with this is the origin of Spider-Man is that you know, once he started discovering his powers, he wanted to make money off of it. So he was an entertainer first.
Yeah, I remember.
He was a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was an entertainer first, and then it was the death of his uncle that made him flip the script and become a crime fighter. And you know, just like the Tobey Maguire movie, which was, you know, somewhat accurate, where the person that killed his uncle, he had a chance to catch that dude, and he just let him walk right past and basically told the police, that's your problem, not mine. So if you follow canon with these, I believe is Tom Holland, you can't put Uncle Ben in there now.
Yeah, but I was seeing on the internet that they would try to either not you know, not like add him back in there like he's alive, but add him back in there like you know, like he's
Okay, if
they
you
would
want to have
put a face, put a
flashbacks.
face, because I know it's a hard thing, and I know how that is losing somebody. You always miss that person, but then you don't like people to bring it up, and then with his aunt not bringing him up, but who would it be? You know what I'm saying? Like, who would it be? So this is another thing. I know in the comic books, Aunt May is young. You know, there's some versions of her that are young. There's clearly many versions, including the first one, where she's just old. She is
Mhm.
just super old. It's like Peter Parker's mom's older sister, but in this one, it's like Peter Parker's mom's younger sister because she is so fucking young. But she
Mhm.
has that baby face too, even though the actress playing her is like what, 40s or something, almost
Mhm.
50s. You know, it's like she has that type of baby face. It works out for this movie that they've hired so many actresses and actors that have a young feeling face that, you know, even though they're older, you know, it's easy to portray them as younger and keep them on for a long time going throughout the saga of Spider-Man is something I don't think I've ever saw before. Outside of Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield was like 40. And this dude had a baby face. Like, he could definitely be a high school student. So, you know, it's you know, I never saw it before besides that. And I don't know, it just didn't work out with him or something. But this time, bro, Tom Holland's a good guy, bro. He's a good guy in real life. He's a good Spider-Man, and he is a smart motherfucker for taking this role and not giving up on it, bro. Because, you know, this is gonna be a lifetime role, but you're gonna get paid for the rest of your life. You're not gonna be like Tobey Maguire. You're gonna do 3 movies. This motherfucker has had 5 different outfits. He's premiered in a good amount of movies too. So he premiered in Civil War, and then he was in what is it, Infinity War, Homecoming. Then he was in this one, right? Then he was in Endgame. He was in 5 different Marvel movies, including 2 of his very own. This dude's getting paid, bro. He's getting
Yeah,
paid money.
and you making a great point that he needs to do several more movies
Mm-hmm.
so he can separate himself from Tobey Maguire. Because
Exactly.
right now, when you think of Spider-Man, you say, okay, this guy is the current Spider-Man, but
Mm-hmm.
Tobey Maguire was the first.
Yeah,
Same
and he
thing with
had his 3 movies. So as
Mhm.
soon as Holland gets his 3rd official movie, I do believe they're going to definitely change the title. It won't be anything regarding home. You know, they had Homecoming, Far From Home. There's going to be another title, and it's going to have home in it, and then that'll be it.
Yeah,
Um, and
but
speaking of home, this isn't on the topics, but I did want to talk about. I hope they would bring some of these titles. These are 2 titles I just want them to bring back. I don't think PlayStation's going to do it, but it would get them a lot of money. And I think this is the perfect time to do it since you have this huge install base. PlayStation Home, bring it back. Feature virtual reality. Bring
oh
it back.
boy, you just
Feature
took
virtual
the words right out of my mouth.
reality. PlayStation All Stars needs to come back. You have not just the third party developers that clearly owe you everything due to the fact that PlayStation been around for 4 different generations and carried gaming on its back for 4 different generations. We're also talking about the fact that PlayStation this gen has an assortment of new characters that you could put in a game. Like, I was just thinking right now, if there was a PlayStation All Stars 2 and you have the hunter from Bloodborne, you could have an alternate outfit which portrays him as any of the other hunters or any of the other main characters from different games in the Soul series. We're talking about the armor that's premiered on a box of Demon Souls, the character premiered on a box of Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 as alternate outfits. Even though the main character's movement will be from Bloodborne, from Bloodborne, you could have outfits from different games. You know, like, that's the type of shit that I would love to add. You know, Aloy, very easy. You know, she has the bow, she has the staff for melee attacks. She has all different types of gadgets. And then tons of armor. We know this. She had a lot of armor that you could craft in the game. Kratos, very easy. You have 4 different types of Kratoses. 2 or 3 might be based on armors from the new God of War, and 1, of course, from the classic God of War. Um, it just would be dope, man. I would really love that. I mean, where's my controller at? I could go down the list. You got Nathan Drake, another easy character. Outfits from all 4.
You know, and before I let you get too far away from the PlayStation Home, you know, that used to be on the PS3. That thing started out pretty small, but they kept building on it and kept adding and adding and
I will
adding.
tell you, I got over 70 something videos of PlayStation Home walkthroughs on my YouTube channel. That's where all the subscribers came from. That's how I build this channel, doing walkthroughs of, I will call it something because I still to this day don't know how to explain PlayStation Home. It was just something different, and there was a fan base. There was a heavy fan base. There were people that I knew that didn't know about it, and I took that opportunity to make sure I let people see, not just hear, but see me walk around this amazing, vibrant world, week after week, year after year, to let them understand that ain't nothing childish about PlayStation Home. It ain't nothing goofy about PlayStation Home. PlayStation Home is and was amazing, and nothing else has came out close to it. They've been so many imitators. They've been a lot of people trying to copycat, but ain't nobody been able to capture that community like PlayStation Home, and never will ever again until PlayStation picks it up and tries to do it again. I think that will be awesome. But you know, it looks unlikely.
PlayStation Home was ahead of its time.
No, definitely,
And
definitely.
And when they I had got away from it for a few months, but then when I came back, they had added so much stuff, you know, like arcades and clothing stores. I think an amusement park and all that stuff. So it's,
oh yeah,
PlayStation could go back and do all that again.
And then VR? The mini games were awesome. They had an RPG game. They had shooting mini games. It was just you just never thought that a a company like that would do that, and people would like it. People actually liked it. People were always on PlayStation Home, morning to midnight. You know, people were always there, even past midnight. I was on there many early mornings, like 1, 2 something in the morning, and people would always be there, man.
You know, and to add something about the VR aspect of it, that kind of stuff is out there in VR right now. You have stuff like the Rec Room, you have stuff like VR chat on PC, but nobody would be able to do it the way Sony would. Sony would be able to do it big. And then other things that you could factor in is on the PlayStation VR, the store section, the VR section of the PlayStation Store, there is not a whole lot of online multiplayer games in that, you know, in that library. So I'm not gonna lie, so adding something like a PlayStation Home, you know, a social outlet for people who want to, you know, interact in VR, that would be huge. I swear that would be
that would be amazing.
A huge success. And in my opinion, if they were to, you know, I think they could do it now, but if they probably were to wait until the PS5 comes out, where that stuff would, you know, where they could definitely do it up because of the hardware, you know what I mean, with the rumored power and all that kind of stuff, they'd be able to do it huge. And I know that would be a big hit. I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb right now and probably say the PSVR has got to be sitting on 4.5 million. Last time numbers were reported, it was 4.2. I have to go out on a limb and say that it's, you know, 4.5, and I have no doubt that they are eventually going to reach 5 million. So to me, that's all the more reason for them to revisit that. I mean, why shouldn't they? Especially with rumors going around, like with rumors that swirled about a few months ago that that a development team was possibly doing Horizon Zero Dawn in VR.
That man. Look, VR and all the different types of properties that PlayStation owns is amazing. It's another thing you got to remember. On the 15th, that, you know, that's this is a part of the topics, by the way, people. On the 15th, there is a conference in Tokyo for Ape Escape, and if anybody knows anything, the PlayStation Move games were all basically VR compatible with their camera angle. Because they had a good amount of PlayStation Move games that basically have the same type of architecture as if you're playing a VR title. So the last Ape Escape game is for the PlayStation Move. You should go check it out, Lincoln. I don't remember what it was, but I know it was in first person. It was on rails. It used the PlayStation Move controllers. This is all, these are some of the type of games I saw on the VR, and it could be easily ported to the PS4 for the VR. And I think that's what Sony should think about. I don't know if they are, but they should really think about some of the PlayStation Move games on the PS3 and try to see if you can get those over to the PS4 for VR as well as normal controller playability.
It can be done because if people like Bethesda can take games like Doom and Skyrim and bring them to the PlayStation VR, it can definitely be done.
Definitely. Let's see what's going on here. Also, we got there's a lot of stuff coming up this month. So we got the Tokyo conference, which is this following Monday, not Monday tomorrow, the following Monday, in Japan. But it will be Sunday night or evening in the United States when they have their live stream conference. I still got to figure out what the time exactly is over there.
Well, I want to try to catch the stream, and I hope there'll be some kind of English translation on it.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping for. Then after that, you have the Comic-Con event. But then Kojima is getting one of the voice actors and mocap actors to talk to him on stage in California, I believe, in the not too distant future, also this month. So there's big conferences that are going to spout out a lot of news this month. Now, I'm thinking about going to this Japanese festival in Washington, D.C. for content purposes. So I'm going to do that because I got the PlayStation Move t-shirts coming in. So I'm going to see how that works out. But yeah, I want to probably wear that or another Japanese inspired shirt. But it's a lot of shit coming out. It's a lot of shit in July. July is not a silent month like you would think. It might be a little quiet for games, depending, but I don't think it's gonna be quiet for the information we get. Now, I'm not saying expect PS5 information. I'm not even saying expecting like release date information on Ghost of Tsushima or The Last of Us, but expect a lot of news. Lots of different types of news. Okay. August, I don't really know. I know that we normally have like Gamescom and PAX in August, but I don't know because Sony is not going to any of these smaller venues. So I know Microsoft and Nintendo, they won't. They probably will have stuff to announce, but again, Microsoft is on the same track as Sony. They're going to focus on next gen. They're probably not going to go to all these venues because they don't have much to talk about without spoiling them much. You still got, as far as they're concerned, you still have to make sure you keep the hype for E3. That's their whole thing. If they can't get their fans hyped for E3, that's their last defense. Like the few fans they have left will definitely leave because if they can't get hyped for E3, their life is over as far as gaming fanboyism. PlayStation gamers, we have shit to be happy for all year round. We don't need a conference to tell us that our system is good. We know our system is good.
I don't know if this is an appropriate thing to say, but when next generation comes around, if the PlayStation 5 turns out to be a more powerful console than Scarlet, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Xbox community, because if Xbox Scarlet is not more powerful than the PlayStation 5, then their last piece of bragging right will have been taken away from them, because they know next generation Sony's going to have the better content, because if I mean, stuff like Bleeding Edge that's coming from Ninja Theory. If that's the kind of stuff that Microsoft is going to deliver, then to me it doesn't look. The future doesn't look very exciting, for Microsoft. And it was like that this generation. The content they had was lackluster, but the Xbox still hung on to that one little piece of tin trophy, whatever you want to call it, that the Xbox One X was the most powerful console in the world, and they could possibly lose that title. It'll be all that they have left.
I think you're damn right about that. You're damn right. I mean, you let Nintendo pass you, and that's pretty stupid because they came out with their system like years after you did, and you let them pass you very easily. By the way.
Mm-hmm. And oh shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say, but I know it was related to this Xbox stuff, and I know it was tied to. I was gonna say.
The show started for the Xbox Mini. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, actually, I did a podcast well over a year ago, telling people that if Microsoft is going to be focused on this cloud-based gaming, do not be surprised if they come out with some kind of device that resembles a Fire Stick, where all you got to do is plug it into your TV and have access to their library, and it looks like it's finally going to happen.
Look, this is the thing, man. You can't be like Apple, okay? You can't just put out all these systems, right, and expect the one that you really care about to sell well, because it might not go that way. So I think that's what they're thinking, and I don't think they're thinking right now, because that's a stupid ass idea. You got to release multiple systems into the market and expect the one you really want to sell, the highest price one, to actually sell? No.
And on top of that, I said this, and I'll probably talk about that on one of my next podcasts, but I've said this before too in the past, that the PS4 can play physical disc. You can download digital content on it and play it that way, and it streams. So it's mind-boggling why Microsoft needs to produce separate devices for each of those functions. You have the Xbox One SAD for your digital content. Now you have this possible Xbox Mini coming out to stream content, and now you have Scarlet, which is supposed to be their premium console. Why can't you? I don't get why they don't just like put them all together like Sony's going to do with the PS5. The PS4 can do all that stuff, so it's a given that the PS5 is going to be able to do all that stuff. I don't get why Microsoft can't just do the same thing and just price the console reasonably and that be that. I don't get. You're going to confuse the shit out of people with all these, with all this different hardware.
That's the sad thing. It doesn't seem that they're aware or they care that they're going to confuse people. I don't know if I told you about the story that one of my nieces, my mom was going to get a DS for her back in the day, and she was real young. And she was going to get a DS, but at that point in time, there wasn't just a normal classic black and silver DS that I got, the first edition. There was a lot of other DSs. They were sleeker, they were a little bit rounder, DS Lite and all of this other things way before the 3DS. They were milking the shit out of the normal DS. And my mom didn't know which one to get. And I was like, because I had left Nintendo by that time, I was like, I don't know. I don't know which one to get. It was confusing. They had different prices. They did different things, different colors, clearly. You don't want mommy and daddy to go to a fucking store and you say, I want to get the new Xbox, but there are multiple systems that would be under the title of new Xbox. You get what I'm saying? You got the Xbox One X, that's new. You got the Xbox One S, that one with different colors and editions. Don't get me started with the different editions or colors. That confuses consumers too, older consumers that shop for younger consumers, if they're not educated on what's going on in the gaming world. And you can damn well bet most adults, right, the ones that have kids that have stopped gaming or have never really gamed seriously, they are gonna go to the fucking store this holiday season and not know what the fuck is up. And next year is going to be even worse if Microsoft tries to sell all their platforms next year. I would love for them to put out this Xbox Mini this year. You put it out next year, you're really doing a bad job. We don't get leaks, right, of what a system looks like if it's not coming out that year. That's one thing I know about these patterns of leaks. So if this leak is real, if it's not fake, it's probably coming out this year for them to test the market. But again, they did release another new Xbox. That's the one without a disk drive. You see how confusing that shit is?
Yeah, and if they do release this Xbox Mini, I expect them to release it around November because, as far as the xCloud goes, they're supposed to like roll it out in the test phase later this year. I don't think they targeted, full blown, service this year, unlike Google, who's planning to putting this shit in full motion, at some point this year.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope they do the right thing. There's a lot of other topics to talk about. Hold on.
No doubt. But while you taking care of the situation, I did want to, for the chat that's listening, talking about the upcoming Comic-Con that's coming up, I believe, January 18th or January 19th, whether it's
July.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm like having a brain fire. In any case, when it's supposed to reveal more, content or whatever about Iron Man, they don't have to show me anything. I'm already sold on this game. I'm going to buy it regardless. All I want is a date.
Yeah. I want a date, and I wanted to stick by that date. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm tired of and I know it's going to keep happening, but I'm still tired of developers canceling and very much delaying their games to another month or season because Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed or something Ubisoft put out comes out that holiday season. Stop doing it. You look weak. Okay.
Oh, that's the catch-22 there, Jay, because like, for instance, was Days Gone. When they moved that one back, I thought that was a smart move because in February you had Crackdown 3 that was supposed to come out. You had Metro that was supposed to come out, and then I want to say there was one more game that was supposed to came out in February. I mean, that was a lot of traffic.
Yeah, but what I was saying is,
to introduce.
For 2 years they wanted October, and they kept pushing it back. They wanted October last year, and even though the game probably would have been worse off if it did release in 2017, they did want to bring that game out at the end of 2017 in October because it's basically a fucking zombie game. It would have did very well, but guess what? They weren't lucky because there was always like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield or some shit like that. So they ended up finding a new area. We know Sony found this new area. It was in the beginning of the year. Nobody else was putting their games out. Now everybody wants to do the same fucking thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we got even more games coming out in the first half of the year, like we already do with a rumored The Last of Us for February. We have a rumored Cyberpunk for April. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Not only that, I wouldn't be surprised if, depending on what the game is, they may target their games to release around the same window as the Sony exclusives, in order to try to piggyback off some of these Sony games, like Days Gone, for instance. Much hype for that game, and I found it to be a coincidence that World War Z released like a week or so before Days Gone, because it's the same type of game with the same kind of
the same premise. They got a horror mode.
Yeah, with a horror mode. So World War Z, I barely even knew about that game, but we've been knowing about Days Gone for about at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So to me, it was no accident that game came out a week before Days Gone.
I know I've been quiet, not to cut you off, Lincoln. Behind the scenes, what a lot of people don't know is that Days Gone was supposed to have a multiplayer. Sony denied it. So what they did was they basically took that multiplayer concept and applied it to World War Z. So that's why both games were released. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now I knew about that situation with the multiplayer
Yep.
that Sony denied it, which was a little bit disappointing because I think at the very least with the horde mode, if you would have at least made a co-op like the horde mode on Gears of War or something like that, if you would have made it like that, that would have been huge with the elements that they've added. It would have that horde mode would have been huge. I'd like to think that they might still implement that in a future update.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, they did add all these challenges in this update for the whole month of the July and shit. So, you know, that'll be fucking dope. But yeah, I mean, they know the hype. You know, we even have developers that are simulating exclusivity. This is not something that, you know, I know people hate me and they hate when I say like, oh, the game's never coming to your platform. I only know what the developers tell me. So if the developer pretends that a game is exclusive, then guess what? It's exclusive, right? So Judgment is not on any other platform. Judgment is only on PS4. Do we know it's coming to PC? By their pattern with Yakuza, it probably is. Anytime soon? I don't think so. They want to see what they can do with PlayStation. If you if you're not delicate with smaller games that are launch as an exclusive, you could shatter the fan base. And once you break the promise of a game being exclusive to a bigger, more dedicated fan base, they might not trust you next time around.
Mm-hmm.
Saying they won't buy your fucking game, it's just like they might wait until later. Some gamers do that. They wait later for a multiplat. They buy exclusive day one because they know what the quality is like. You know, I knew that I love exclusives more than multiplats because they let me down less. I can't tell you the last time I was truly let down by exclusive compared to the amount of times I was let down by multiplats just this generation alone. Not speaking of next gen, last gen. Sorry. So you know, yeah, they do the same thing. They want to, you know, sheep in wolf's clothing. They want to, I mean, a wolf in sheep's clothing. They want to pretend like they're exclusive because they know exclusives sell better than multiplats. They know that shit. So they launch the game as exclusive. Bam! Once they get their money, they make that shit a multiplat. Again, I only know what the developers tell us. So I'm not an insider or anything. So when you guys see me do these videos to piss off certain fan base, yeah, it's fun. It's fun and it's fucking funny. And those videos have not been removed and they won't be removed. The titles won't be changed. That's just it's not gonna happen. Once again, it's an archived video at that damn point because you're probably not watching it unless you're going there to dislike it or give me a negative comment. But whatever the developers tell us or what they want to happen. See, Sega owns Atlas, and you know Sega's gone multiplat since Dreamcast went down in flames. Rest in peace to that amazing system, though. Judgment needs to get some money, you know, and they know the biggest, most dedicated fan base they have is actually the PlayStation gamers. You can put the whole library of Yakuza on PC. It doesn't mean their fan base is over there. You know, and that's the misconception with when a developer puts a game on another platform. That they're saying, oh, there's a fan base over there. No, they're hoping there's a fan base over there. They don't know. You won't know if a fan base is over there until you see those sales numbers. When you get those sales numbers back and they're fucking low, you can understand you made a fucking mistake.
Yeah, and I have to admit that if they, you know, Sega took some of those games and threw some of those games on Steam, it would be a jungle out there. I think they would do okay, but it would be a jungle out there because there's so many games out there for PC.
Exactly.
And these PC dudes, some of these PC dudes are some cheap motherfuckers. You know, they will not buy shit at full price. They will try to find an alternate way to get that game at a cheaper price, whether it's G2A, whatever the case may be. And I kind of fell into that trap since buying my PC.
We got some breaking news. Let me go see how many viewers we got. We got breaking news, guys. I need help. I need your help. I'm going to the news comment section real quick. Hold on, let me make sure I got that right. I'm gonna drop this in the comment section. The breaking news: Xbox Scarlet will also release with an xCloud focused streaming only SKU priced at $60 to $100. So that Xbox Mini is gonna be that SKU we heard about from last year. That Lockhart, the one that was going to be the weaker system that was streaming only. This is that, and it will be priced at $60 to $100.
$100 would be ridiculous
for a box. Yeah,
yeah. Even the $60, I think, is a little bit steep. Because
but why is Microsoft following Google? They see the reception's not that good. Why are you still going head first into this horrible investment strategy of streaming?
Not only that, I think Google plans to use their I think they plan to use their biggest content creators as hostage to use Stadia. I got this funny feeling that Google might lock some of their biggest YouTubers behind Stadia. So like for instance, I think Google is going to pay some of their biggest content creators more money to interact with Stadia subscribers. So for instance, somebody like Jacksepticeye might be playing a game, and you can jump in and play this game with them, but you might need to get the Stadia Gold membership. That kind of shit, I wouldn't be surprised if they start, putting out different tiers of YouTube Silver, YouTube Gold, and all that shit. So I think whatever Google's plan for Stadia is, YouTube is going to be tied into it some way. Because just on the streaming service alone, like you said, the reception is not good. And the way this shit is going right now, you can't expect this shit to catch on with people for at least another 5 years, especially when you're at the mercy of greedy cable companies, controlling your broadband.
Yeah. Look, bro, this is not a good idea.
No.
I know they heard the whispers or the yells from the gaming community that they don't want this. They don't want this shit.
And so I know I went off the
losing right now. They're not listening to who is really fucking important. They're not, man.
But for Microsoft, you shouldn't be surprised by that. I went off the tracks a little bit talking about Google, but the point that I was trying to make is that Microsoft with the xCloud they don't have an ace in a hole to draw people into this shit. Game Pass has a lackluster roster of games. It's a lot of them are 360 games that flopped or people never heard of. And then as far as their exclusives that they're supposed to be giving you day one, day and date on Game Pass, State of Decay and Sea of Thieves was nothing to do backflips about. So again, Microsoft doesn't have any kind of ace in the hole to draw people into this shit. But but Microsoft going after the casual gamer shouldn't be any kind of surprise because look, remember the TV bullshit with the Xbox One when it first came out.
Before that, Kinect, the original Kinect.
Yeah, so Microsoft they won't give up on chasing after the casual gamer because that's the golden goose to them. Unlike Sony, where I always use this term with Sony, if you build it, they will come. They started out catering to the hardcore gamer and it grew.
Yeah.
Microsoft tried to skip right over that shit and dive right into the casual gamers. So you're right in that sense. I just don't see how this xCloud and Google Stadia is going to be successful, but
bro, I just can't believe they're gonna do it. They going for it, man. These were rumors. And what I just tell you, didn't I just say that, when we get these images and, from these rumors or supposed leaks, it normally tries to come out that year. So I would think they would try to launch this before. But if they launch at the same time, they just as dumb as I thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just never really believed that they would just continue to want to lose. But I mean, I guess that's something that they like to do. I mean, hey, it's look. If this is what their goal is, I'm not gonna stop them. We as gamers, not as just the people on the other side. We as gamers have stood up and told all developers we don't really want this streaming shit. We're not ready for it. Most of our internet is not perfect. People still online lagging. You still got people lagging, and it's 2019. You ain't ready for that shit, man.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention
data caps. Oh yeah, the data caps too. You ain't ready for that.
Yeah, I live by myself.
It's a cheap thing too, man. Because if they try to cut out the middleman of, of course, making a home console, you got multiple subscriptions you're going to have to deal with. You got to have Game Pass, xCloud, and you got to have Xbox Live. You got to have 3 subscriptions you're paying for one fucking company.
Yeah, and I've mentioned that before too. That this subscription crap is gotten out of hand. There's so many subscriptions out there that you're going to be in a position where if you're going to get on board with this shit, you're basically going to have to decide which subscription service gives you the best value for your money and go with that. Because like you said, Game Pass plus Xbox Live, plus EA Origins, plus whatever subscription service the Ubisoft is trying to sell, and then you got Walmart trying to get involved with this shit, and I think Amazon's trying to get involved with this shit. You got Google Stadia. There's another streaming service coming along called Utopia that I think is supposed to be on PC. I don't know if that'll ever see console or not, but still, so many services out there. And you bought every one of those services, you'd be spending well over $100 to $150 a month before you even see your cable bill.
Yep. Not to mention just your normal shit. That's what I always look at. Like sometimes looking at the bank account, I'm like, what the fuck? Where's all this money coming from? Where is it going? And it's going in the way of subscription. I got Funimation, I got Netflix, but then I have these other types of, different bills and subscriptions, and I got to pay that shit off, and they're not coming at the same time. They're coming at different times.
Yeah. Speaking of subscriptions, I wish that my son did not love Gears of War so much, because if he did not care for Gears of War, then I could be 100% done with the Xbox. But he loves Gears of War. That's kind of my fault. I created that monster because I was in absolute love with Gears of War 1 and 2. So because of that, I have to keep his Xbox Live membership alive so he can play online. So
damn, man.
And I keep my Xbox One S so I can play online with him. I want nothing more to be able to sell that Xbox One S. I want nothing more for him to tell me that he's done with Xbox, so I can say, you know what, let's sell that Xbox One X I got you and get something else. I try to bring him to the PlayStation side, but
what the fuck? They got the Mulan movie trailer already?
Huh?
The live action Mulan movie trailer Disney has put up a trailer for the live action Mulan already. They moving real forward, like real fast with this shit, bro.
But they did that movie about 20 years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, now it's a live action one.
Okay.
Fuck? I mean, I know they just announced the Little Mermaid shit, but Disney really moving fast with this with these live actions, man. They putting them out like ain't nothing. They must have been working on this for a while because it's coming out March of next year.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna have to watch that trailer after this podcast, man. I mean, after Google Hangouts. This shit looks like it's gonna be good. Good shit. Good shit. Damn. Let's see what else we got. The internet is fucking funny, bro. The internet is fucking funny. Let me go back and see, because there's a lot of other shit to talk about. There's not much else you can sell the Xbox for this year, though. By the way, Gears. Speaking on what you still have the Xbox. What is it? Xbox Live Gold subscription for your son for Gears.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. That's all they got this year. No Forza. They got DLC for Forza. They got DLC for all these other games for Sea of Thieves. All these games suck. And then you got what's that DLC for State of Decay 2? But you didn't get a brand new game or a sequel to any of these. Because even Microsoft knows the generation is over. So just like the 360 gen, Gears is going to be the last big game they put out. And if it doesn't do good, Microsoft might still say, fuck it, we're still moving forward. They clearly are. But Gears will have to be very, very bad for Microsoft to wake up, and I don't think it's going to be bad. So if they buy that fucking game as is, right, they're letting Microsoft know how stupid they really are.
You know what? Sick Humor was talking about, I haven't really seen it, but they was kind of like doing some comparisons, and they think Gears 5 is not going to look as good as Gears 4. They think it's going to look a little bit watered down. And
I think it is too, because they didn't want to show a lot.
Myself, I thought this is supposed to be your best franchise, and you probably want to put your best foot forward. My guess was that we're not going to see any better graphics than Gears 4. But I thought at the very least the graphics would live up to Gears 4. At the very least would be the same. But now that I stop and think about it, if this is going to be a day one game for Game Pass, they might have watered the graphics down a little bit in order to save money, because Microsoft has shown before that they taking shortcuts with their games, like with Forza, for instance. I've mentioned this before. They even went as far as a shortcut the pit stops on Forza, where your car pulls into the pits and it's an empty ass parking lot, and you hear wrenches and impact guns.
Yeah,
and stuff
I saw that. Yeah, but another game I know you played Gran Turismo, right?
Yeah,
they don't do that.
No,
you see the people.
That adds to the realism of the game. It adds to the realism of the game. To me, it adds to the immersion of the game, because when you come into the pits, there's a cutscene of of your crew coming out with tires, impact guns, fuel tanks ready to fuel the car, and they show the animation of that happening. Microsoft couldn't even put that in fucking Forza. They cut that little bit of bullshit out. My guess is, how many dollars did they save by doing that little bullshit? So where I'm going with that is, if they did something as minuscule as that on Forza, why wouldn't they water down Gears 5? Especially if it's a game that's probably going to be featured on Game Pass, because the game ain't going to sell worth a fuck, as far as digital and physical sales go. That's probably the game that's going to boost, Game Pass memberships. And I've said it before with this Game Pass crap, that with Microsoft, they went off and brought in a bunch of bootleg developers to develop a bunch of bootleg games to fill up the Game Pass library. And these developers that they caught them in a vulnerable state when they hadn't put out a hit game in God knows how long, or they were probably on the verge of bankruptcy. So Microsoft caught them in a vulnerable state, and we already seen the aftermath of this shit with this bullshit looking game that Ninja Theory came out with. Microsoft hands is all over that. So with them looking to fill up, what their main focus is to fill up Game Pass with games, you're gonna see a lot of cheap looking bullshit in there. So maybe Gears 5 will be watered down a little bit.
Look, I believe it's gonna be watered down. If it wasn't, they would have been bragging about the visuals, right? They would have been showing them off. They seem to have been very scared to do both.
Good point.
They did not show the gameplay we expected them to show off at E3. That was their chance. There was no other big game coming out this year, and Halo is still coming out at the end of next year. It's going to be launching with the Xbox, which I think is a good strategy. Trick some people into buying the system or give them a reason to even look at the system, which Halo is a big reason. No, I'm being serious.
Halo, no. You're making absolute sense, but when Halo triggers me because of what they showed at E3.
Last year's.
This past E3 when they showed the Halo Infinite or whatever is supposed to be coming up. Master Chief is floating in space, and this guy brings him in, hooks him up to this really complex machine, and he activates it by plugging together an extension cord.
Yeah, I know.
Are you serious?
No. So what they're saying about this is they're saying this Halo is a reboot, like God of War. So they're gonna reboot Halo with this Halo Infinite. That's what they're doing. They say this is not a continuation. This is a reboot, and I think all Xbox fans should understand what that means. This is not a continuation, so don't think that it's gonna be. It's a reboot. Because that's what I believe Microsoft is doing, and no pun intended, but you can take it how you want to take it. As far as Microsoft is concerned right now with their gaming section, or you can call it the Xbox division, whatever the fuck you want to call it, they're rebooting that whole thing. They're building it into Microsoft's business image. This is no longer the real Xbox. This is Microsoft's game division. And what they want is to make money at all costs. So if they're just going to put out a box and you stream, then that's what the fuck you going to have to deal with. And guess what? The hardcore Xbox fanboys, you got to defend that shit. And I know you won't be doing a good job of it because you can't. No one wants it, not even you guys. Nobody wants that shit.
At this point now, I almost feel like the X-Thoughts, as I like to call them, defending the Microsoft, defending the Xbox brand would almost be like black people defending Donald Trump.
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, Microsoft just don't give a fuck about the hardcore gamers. And the fucked up part about it is Microsoft used them to get through this generation.
Mm-hmm.
Selling them, all these bullshit ass controllers, coming out with 96 different versions of the Xbox, the Minecraft edition, all that shit. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I think the biggest reason the X-Thoughts pretty much stuck with Microsoft this generation is because Phil Spencer tricked them into making them think that he was still committed to being competitive and beating Sony.
Look, that's where it gets real funny. They just came out, not too far after E3 and said that they're not competing anymore. They said in a private interview.
They said that, but they saying that now, but that was
well at the beginning of this generation, they was ready. They believed won last gen. They never did. They didn't win last gen. It just came out, and this is where it gets really funny. The information that just came out yesterday is that Xbox One had a better launch than Xbox 360. And if that is fucking true, that means that the PS3 actually had a better launch than the 360, despite it coming out a year afterwards.
And costing $600 too.
Exactly. So when you put all that shit together, Xbox 360 never won last gen. The only reason why it was perceived as the fucking winner because it was the first system that launched.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. Not to mention, I'm sure you heard about the rumors with the Red Ring Xboxes that when those things took a crap, they fixed them and put them back out into circulation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it counted them as sales.
Yep, so, they counted them as sales. And you know how many units of an Xbox 360 they sold due to faulty hardware? So many. There were people that went out and brought a new Xbox 360 while their old one was being fixed. And once the new one that they brought while the old one was being fixed broke down, they turned that one back into Microsoft and then brought another one. There were people with a tops of at least 5 fucking Xbox 360 devices.
Yeah, I think anybody who was in the Xbox ecosystem throughout the entire 360 generation had at least one Xbox that caught the red rings, in my belief, because and the thing had right there is Zulasek just said it right there, 50% failure rate. I had heard 51, but hell, who's counting? We'll go with that 51%, but you still get my point. That so and they supposedly sold 80 million of them this year. If half of them failed, then they probably only actually sold 40 million consoles the 360 generation, being that they counted those red rings as sales. So that is actually awful. So
who's that in the party chat? Somebody's in here.
Yeah, it's me. I just jumped in.
Oh my god, it's fucking
Adam. What's going on, dude?
Hey man, how's it going? I saw you guys. I just came back. I just saw you guys talking about the 360 Xbox.
We got breaking news. Okay, hold on. I wanted to go over this. The failure rate for the Xbox 360 was actually a 54.2, which is bad. That's very bad.
Mm-hmm. That's the 360.
Yeah, that was the 360. What we got breaking news that this Xbox Mini is actually the Xbox Lockhart. Actually, because they're going to be selling it next year alongside the Xbox One Scarlett as a xCloud device that will be able to play the new generation Xbox games as well as current generation Xbox games. It's going to be
like the Apple box.
Yeah, it looks. Look, me and Lincoln was talking about it, but I know you can give us some better insight. I don't think this is a good idea for them, bro. The gamers don't want this. Like this is the same thing as when you put out Connect. When you force them to use the normal Xbox One in the beginning of the generation, no one wanted Connect. The hardcore gamers did not want Connect this gen. No one wanted it.
You know what?
Gave them anyway.
Let me say this before we let Adam take over. Yeah. I think this Xbox Mini, the more I think about it, furthers my belief that Microsoft is targeting kids.
They never stopped.
Think about it. Games like Bleeding Edge, look at all them rainbow ass colors like Fortnite, shit like that. No adult is
very watered down.
In this Ori and the Will of the Wisp, all these games that's coming out, none of them are, other than the normal Gears and Halo, none of this shit does not appear to be adult content like you get over on the PlayStation side. That's one phase right there where they are targeting kids. The second phase where they're targeting kids is Game Pass, because if a kid wants 5 games, it's probably going to be hard for him to get his mother to drop $300 at once for those games. But you might be able to get his mother to drop $10, $15 a month to have access to 120 games or whatever that's on Game Pass. It might be a little bit easier for a kid to sell that to his mother. Now, you add in this Xbox Mini, it would probably be easier for this kid to convince his mother to buy a $60 Mini versus a $500 or $600 Scarlett.
Not bad. Yeah, that's the thing. Again, a lot of people thought they were going to show off the Lockhart because obviously that was the rumor, wasn't it? Lockhart and Scarlett was going to be a thing. Turns out they didn't show. Well, they technically didn't show anything of Scarlett. They just talked about it like they did with the X. Mm-hmm. And in my eyes, that brief video they talked about, that literally sounded exactly like how they did the X, how they spoke about the X, which to be honest was very generic and just, I honestly didn't give a fuck. And I think a lot of people that watched that video, like getting very excited for the next generation of console, they're probably thinking, why am I happy about this? Well, you shouldn't be, because you probably don't understand what the fuck they're talking about. But if this mini thing is real, to be honest, it looks fucking real.
Yeah, it looks real, man.
It surprises me quite
because
a bit.
We heard about Xbox Mini earlier this morning.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be true. You plug your controller into that box or Bluetooth it, connect it wirelessly. That thing plugs into your TV. I don't see why this thing wouldn't come out to be true.
You hear me? Can you hear me?
No, 100%. I think this shit is definitely true. It's because, like, again, it was supposed to be announced at the fucking E3 conference, but they probably stopped it because, I don't know if there'll be backlash or they just couldn't fit into the show or they thought it just wasn't worth it, which was, it definitely isn't worth it. Like I don't know why you would.
Let me respond to Midori in the chat because he said, "Stop talking about Scarlet. They are not cheap." The Anaconda console, no, that's not going to be cheap. But this Xbox Mini, $60 is a far jump from $500 or $600, whatever they charge.
Look, let me put it this way. You were right, Lincoln. The casuals will eat this up. $60 and $100 is way cheaper than a $500 system. People will eat this up, but that's clearly not what Microsoft wants. That would be the dumbest thing ever. You don't want them to go and buy that. Just go ahead and read
the countless articles that were made after Phil Spencer, or after E3 happened, when Phil Spencer literally stated he doesn't care about console sales, he cares about services. He's went ahead and quoted this shit. And straight after that happened, PlayStation went ahead. They had like a little meeting, and they said, "Yeah, we're about the hardcore gamers." And then people try to spin that shit on the indie aspect, like, "Oh, you don't care about indies anymore." No, they still care about indies. It's just that they probably want to prioritize on the hardcore AAA games, which is what they're known for. But they will go for indie games if they're worth it, like with a PS4, with Outlast, with Don't Starve. Was it Poncho? Forgot what it was called. Something like that. There was quite a few indie games that were coming out. Dead Nation was one of them, and some others here and there. Like, they actually prioritized some of these indie games that actually were pretty fucking cool. But when I read these articles, and Phil Spencer, some of the things that he said was really like, it brings me back to that aspect when people will always say Phil Spencer is saving Xbox and this and that. And the thing is, this guy on Twitter called The Hunter, he wrote a tweet, and then he regarded this tweet to the launch sales of the Xbox One. They are better than the 360. When that console launched, it launched better than the 360, which has sold more than the Xbox One. And it's funny because that guy got fired. Don Macho got fired. They did a complete turn up, and when Phil Spencer stepped in, all he did was pander to the audience, which I don't faze him for doing, but it's also a sense of he's sort of going overzealous right now with the services and basically play anywhere and being all about the gamers. But then your whole brand, your whole fan base on the 360 and the original Xbox, you're sort of just demeaning everything. And then, there are still Xbox fans that are like, no, this is bullshit. This is not true. I like the fact that I'll be able to play a Mega. That's you just being, what's the word? Like, you're just neglecting a lot of fucking factors there. You're like, your response is just like, fuck you. I know I can neglect all this shit. That's bullshit. No, it's like, no, deep down that your console is becoming more and more irrelevant if he puts these in place, and he has. Mm-hmm. So when it comes down to it, would I buy an Xbox 360 or would I buy a PC where I could game, where I could do Photoshop design and stuff like that, which I do? I would go for a PC because I can use that for multiple purposes instead of having to fork out like a £500, whatever it'll be, console to play. Well, to be honest, 2-3 games every 3 years? Like, that's not worth it. Like, I bought a 360 because it was the first next generation console. Well, actually, I bought an Xbox, original Xbox for Halo. And then 360, I bought it for Gears and Halo. And, some other ones like, what was it? Like Project Gotham Racing, Forza was one of them. Trying to think what else. There was like a Ratchet and Clank sort of game. It's like Chronos or Krongos. I forgot what it's called now. Obviously, Crackdown was one of them as well. Saints Row, when it was on the 360 only. Bioshock, when that was only out at that time. But then eventually, all those games, most of the games came to the PlayStation. And it just got to the point where Halo lost its... To me, Halo just lost its beat.
Fucking
Gears
shit.
ended on Gears 3.
Okay, Adam.
I didn't care.
Remember, because I was trying to figure out what the fuck we were supposed to talk about because I didn't have Sam here.
Oh my god, really?
We have to talk about that fucking Remedy shit and developers getting their
yes.
I forgot. We have to talk about that before the end of the show. That is very important. We're only an hour and 11 minutes in, but we've really got to talk about that because when you just said what you just said, that will hurt Microsoft so much if other developers try to get their rights back and just literally just say, fuck you, Microsoft. This is not what we want. We don't support game streaming. We're going to put our games somewhere else. You will have access to them or you might not, depending if we get brought up by another company. And
I heard Lincoln talk about earlier on about subscription services with Ubisoft, EA, them, PlayStation. A lot of companies are doing this now, and obviously Xbox have found a way to incorporate all that shit into one thing, which is great. But it still is a fucking service. It doesn't matter. They all sort of generate up to a certain thing. And to be honest, I can see a lot of people like getting to the point where like, when did I, it gets to a point where you start to lose what you're getting, and then it comes down. What is good for my value of money? And I look at that, and again, this will be in the next generation of console, yes, and I will probably continue my PlayStation Plus service because that's the only one where I'm reliant on, and I know what I'm getting. I know a lot of people bitch about the Plus games every month, but the fact of the matter is, it isn't just Plus games. It's the discounts. It's whatever else you get for free as a member. And a lot of people just disregard that shit, which I get pissed off with. But for now, that's going to be... It's like a season... It's like the whole microtransaction season pass in games. It's now services. So, roll that shit on, see what happens.
I think one of the to add on to what you were saying, Jay, about some of these developers wanting to reclaim the rights to some of their past properties. I think one of the reasons why they might want to do that, I think, is because maybe they see something on the PlayStation side, because one of the hot topics on PlayStation that never seems to die down is games that they would like to see sequels for. And whenever that subject comes up, like, for instance, The Order 1886 is always one of the games that people talk about that they want to see a sequel for because the first one was very underrated and undervalued. And I think some people have said that they wanted to see like an Alan Wake 2 or whatever the case may be. That's been said on the Xbox side. Now, now that they have the rights to that, if they were to make a sequel to that game and bring it over to the PlayStation side, not only would I think it would sell pretty good, it would probably pull some Xbox people over there as well.
Oh, it would do, 100%. I remember when Blair Witch, the game, the trailer for that Blair Witch game came out, a lot of people think it was Alan Wake because the flashlight, turns out it was fucking Blair Witch. And again, a lot of people, they were getting hyped for that, and it wasn't what it was. And again, I'm like, I'm an Xbox fan. I'm like, oh, it must have hurt in some way. Like if you're a big fan of Alan Wake.
Yeah. Look, all I'm gonna say right now, man. I apologize, guys, that skipped my mind because it did happen in the beginning of the week. I don't know where Sam is. We'll talk to him a little bit later. Normally he's always here, so it must be emergency, but that was a big thing that happened in the beginning of the week. That probably was supposed to take up most of the time. I was trying to figure out what was going on.
There wasn't really much this week anyway. I mean, based on like news.
I mean, it's 4th of July. It was 4th of July week, so we weren't going to expect to get a lot. But leading up to this Tokyo conference that's happening on Monday in Japan, but it will be Sunday in the United States, and it'll probably also be early Monday morning in the UK time. Ape Escape is not the only thing they're showing off. We know that.
Oh no.
Yeah, Ape Escape is not the only thing. They have that conference setup that you saw.
Well, they're not going to be at TGS, but this is why they're doing it. They're not going to be at TGS.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to do this, and this is coming right on the backs of E3. Nobody really sees it coming, even if we know of it. Nintendo's not doing anything this month except for a small Nintendo Direct that they're probably going to do, but it's not really much because we already know. Look, I'm going to say one thing, man. I love Nintendo, and I think they crushed it at E3. They showed too much if you think about what Sony's about to do. Because Sony didn't go there. That means everything they show after E3 is going to be looked at with more hype, because people are anticipating them saying anything about any of their plans in the future for any game. But with Nintendo, they showed off so much that any of these new Nintendo Directs are just going to be updates or reminding you that this game is coming out.
Well, there's that possibility that they're going to be showing the Mini, because I saw a few days ago that there was a couple of companies that are making
peripherals.
They're making rubber cases for like a Switch, and it doesn't look like the Switch that you know right now. It's definitely condensed and smaller, so be interesting to see if they are going to be showing it off again. A lot of people asked them before E3 and they said no, we're not showing that. Turns out they were telling the truth, but seeing it now, it's like, ooh, are you going to do it now? Yeah, we probably are. I mean, to finish off the year, it seems right because, again, they're not going to be making a new console anytime soon. They're going to be probably implementing a more powerful Switch, and obviously a smaller part of the Switch to sort of, keep those sales going. Because even though Switch does sell quite reasonably well, its predictions of sales, every time, is off by maybe a couple million, which in their mind is not good for that to them. It's just not good. So I think it's the first year was what was it, 20 million, and they sold, I think it was 18. Trying to figure it out again, but I'll try, because I remember watching a video a couple of days ago about this. But again, they're always off, and they obviously want more from their as a company, which is, to be honest, that's right to have. But when the new consoles come out, it's going to be more difficult for them because you're going up against two new platforms, and if the prices are good for both platforms, that's going to be another big fucking factor for them. It's like, oh shit, we got to step our game up even more. Which
man. I think that we talked about this week with the PlayStation Legion and Party Chats multiple times.
Yeah,
that the Switch is already a handheld. Okay, it's a handheld in disguise. For them to do this and anybody be shocked, I'm gonna look at you like you're a fucking retard. I'm sorry. You can't be shocked that they're coming out with a smaller version of handheld. Nintendo's done this before. It's a handheld. The Switch is a handheld. They're coming out with a new version of it that does not that does not promote the docking station hookup to your TV. That's basically what it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
You can play the normal Switch without the docking station. You don't need the docking station at all. You can play that on the go forever.
Who didn't see this coming? I mean, with the success of the Switch, I mean, look at the 3DS. How many different versions of that? A 2DS, 3DS, 3DS XL. There's so many damn versions of these 3DSs.
Exactly. So what I want to say about this is the price needs to be right. And if you do this, and I know a lot of people might not want to hear this, so if you want to leave right now, leave. If you don't like the truth, go on and leave. Leave a dislike. They're going to use this as an excuse not to lower the price of the normal Switch. The normal Switch will continuously be $300.
That is an excellent point.
They're not going to lower it because what they're going to say is, "Oh, we have a mini one without the docking station. Take this for $250." It's not going to be $200. It should, but it's not. Look at the Vita.
Vita is basically discontinued. That's why I'm seeing it on Amazon for like $275. Plus, system. You gotta think about it. Vita had a touch screen, a touchpad, 2 cameras, one in the front, one in the back. And for that day and age, that was pretty big. That was pretty big for a handheld to have a front-facing camera and a back camera. As multiple applications, a powerful engine for graphics. If people online, Amazon, eBay, they selling that for 200 something, I understand. The Switch, however, knowing that it is underpowered, knowing it is at the same a similar power rating of a normal Vita, right? Let's be 100% honest, because you're talking about all your games are 720p on the go. Well, the Vita, well, when I hook it up to the the PlayStation TV, the PlayStation Vita TV, I can get a tops of 1080i. That's what I get. I get a tops of 1080i. So again, Sony was doing something Nintendo started to do before. Now on the go, I don't know what the Vita is. I don't know. But with that screen, that OLED screen for the original Vita, you probably was looking at some great looking graphics. I don't know exactly what the graphics were, but they were amazing. But I think Nintendo should sell this handheld at $200. Then you can really justify a $300 price tag for the Switch that you already have on the market. Yeah. But Nintendo, we talked about this before too, right? Nintendo's done this for generations. They don't like to drop the price of their systems. They don't like to drop the price of their games either. Smash Brothers, right? That game's been out for over a year. They are not dropping it from 60. Look at God of War though. Didn't you? What was it? God of War was as low as 40 or 20 for the last sale. The days of play. Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, $20 on the greatest hits. Nintendo hasn't even announced the greatest hits for Switch. You know, so I mean, Nintendo gets away with murder for real. They really, really fucking do.
I don't know how they do things though. They see like sell wise, because obviously. They do have obviously an American branch and obviously Japanese branch.
I mean, but we gotta be honest. Their handheld market is the strongest market. If Nintendo announces a new handheld today or tomorrow, people will buy it. They will eat it up like candy. I mean, that's their strong suit right there. That's something that no matter how good Sony was with the Vita, no matter how amazing the Vita was, Nintendo had a weaker fucking handheld by miles, a primitive handheld by miles compared to the PlayStation Vita. And guess what? People still ate it up. The graphics was shit.
Would do. Yeah, I don't know what it is. No offense to Nintendo, but don't know what it is. A lot of times. I see a lot of people like sort of get in bed with Nintendo really fucking easy. Now again, I've played most of the Nintendo consoles apart from the Wii U and the Switch. Do I want to get a Switch? Yes, because I want to play I want a portable sort of console to go. Now I used to have a PSVR, but then again, like the productions of games they slowed down quite progressively. I got to the point where I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to stop making these. They're going to stop making games. They're going to stop production pretty soon, and they did.
Exactly. Somebody just brought it to my attention. You can get Persona now for $20 also. It's in the greatest hits. You know, so it doesn't matter how good a game is. Sony will give it to you for a good price because they already know it's older. They're not going to charge you full price. They can't get away with it. I don't know why people allow Nintendo to get away with it.
I don't know when the GameCube came. I think the GameCube came out between PS2 and Xbox 360. I played that in the middle. I love Pikmin.
No. GameCube came out close to the PS2. It didn't come out next to the GameCube. I mean, to the 360. It came out before. You thinking about the Wii?
No. I'm talking. I said in between the PS2 and the Xbox 360.
No, in between PS2 and Xbox. You saying 360? Yeah. The game. Remember the GameCube didn't do well. It came out next to the PS2 and Xbox, and then
it was before the 360. Obviously, it was before.
It was before 360. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, I played a lot of their games on the fucking GameCube. The GameCube was really freaking good. I like that console.
the GameCube had Resident Evil 4. It had Pikmin. It had
Resident Evil 0.
It had a lot. Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it had a lot. It had definitely had a lot.
It had a follow-up to Wave Race, which I didn't think they were going to do.
Oh, yeah, shit. Wind Waker as well. I forgot about that game.
Bro,
yeah, that was another one.
They had great. And then, of course, moving on to the Wii, they did that Zelda thing again. They put it on 2 different platforms. They had Zelda, Twilight Princess, and they had that shit on the GameCube. And nobody could find what the difference was. It looked exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nintendo get away with so much, bro. They get away.
I don't get it. You see, because like I like Mario, I like Zelda, and all these bits and bobs. But a lot of times, like I feel that when I was watching like Nintendo this year, and I saw the what's it called again? The the Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. I was like, oh, that's cool. And that instantly buffs their fucking conference up to be a good fucking conference. So a lot of people revolved around that being a good part of it. And I'm like, what about, X, Y, and Z in their conference? Like, not a lot of people talked about other things. Like, oh, Breath of the Wild, that's all I care about. And to be honest, it was a surprise because, the game only came out, a couple of years ago. The original. And obviously, I found it a bit fishy when they announced it because I thought to myself, I thought this was going to be DLC, because that's what they talked about. They actually, numerous times, said they were going to make a DLC for the Breath of the Wild. And they did do some, but there was going to be more. And then it turns out, again, read an article, that apparently the creator of the game said that the new game is going to be all the DLCs that he spoke about in this game. So technically, this is going to be Breath of the Wild 0.5, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's basically loads of DLCs compiled into one game. And I don't see it being any different to Breath of the Wild, apart from maybe a few trees moved around and maybe some couple of new areas. But again, to me, I feel like, if I'm going to give Nintendo praise, it's going to be something bigger than just that, in my eyes anyway. When PlayStation do something new, if PlayStation did that, they'll get major flack. Major fucking flack.
Mm-hmm.
When Nintendo does it, it's kind of like the sense of, they're just playing. Let them play. It's like, they've been doing this for a fucking few years now. You got to give them the same criticism as you do with Xbox, PlayStation, and even PC. You just have to. No offense to Nintendo, but sometimes they do need a kick up the arse. I'm sorry, they just do. They really do. Because that shit ain't gonna fly all the time, man. It just isn't. Not in my books, anyway. No. They ain't got Reggie anymore. They got Bowser in it. That Bowser guy.
The Bowser guy.
Which I don't know how. He's only done one thing. Hopefully, he does really well from them. Because obviously, Reggie was quite good. To be honest, Reggie was good when they started doing the directs, not when they did the live shows. Because I remember the conferences they used to do at E3 were very cringy, really fucking cringy. But now with the directs, it's a bit more better with the format of what they want to do. And to be honest, they've worked that very perfectly. The directs, I think they've done such a great job with them. And obviously that's the reason why PlayStation and Xbox have taken an initiative to some sense take some sort of notes. Obviously PlayStation have only just started this year, but you can guarantee that they will get better and better over the course of the years. And obviously inside Xbox, as we know, has cut its production down with that and Mixer, which is interesting because in my eyes that's not good. But wait and see on that, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, you want to talk about Remedy and stuff like that, man. You would, didn't we?
Oh, no, yeah. I guess we can hit on to
Let's
them.
go on to that, man.
So, we believe it's going to be a trend, and we think this is what we've been talking about for a while. A lot of shit that the Legion's been talking about before today is that we know Sony might end up seeing if they can help Insomniac get Sunset Overdrive back. And the only other platform, and this is where it gets crazy. Okay, so when Remedy says in an interview that we want to bring our game to more platforms, We know you're talking about PS4. It's already on PC. It's on Xbox 360. It's on Xbox One via backwards compatibility. What other platform will you bring it to? PlayStation. Unless you go bring it to the Switch. And then, of course, same thing will be said for Sunset Overdrive. When they say, oh, whenever they get the rights back, that we got the rights back because we want to put it on more platforms, they're talking about putting it on PlayStation. They already have it on PC. They already have it on Xbox 360. Xbox One. And really, look, that was an open world game. You would thought that the PC modding community would be happy to get an open world game from the people that made Spider-Man so they can mod it. No one modded it that I saw. There was no celebrated mods for Sunset Overdrive. No PC fan really cared. Nobody really hyped it up. They were still on Death Stranding, port begging for Death Stranding, port begging for Horizon Zero Dawn, port begging for Spider-Man, God of War, Bloodborne, you name it. They've been port begging for all our exclusives. They get an Xbox exclusive, and it's like, we don't care. It's like, why even put a game on the PC sometimes when that's not what their focus really is. They don't want Xbox game.
Hey, Jay.
You gotta head off.
Yeah, get some practice in so I can get ready to beat Lunkin brains out.
Okay, that's cool, man.
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure we can wrap this up. We only got 30 more minutes. Me and Adam go spitball some shit.
Yeah, we're gonna go into this fucking Remedy thing.
Okay, yeah, I'll still be listening though.
Okay, well, you have a good day, man.
All right, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Y'all take it easy too.
Okay.
You, man.
Yep, see you.
Let's do it, Adam.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, again,
so you think that because of this? See, a lot of people we said this, that the relationship between Insomniac has been rocky, and they might not want Sony to buy them because they wanted Sony to buy them back then, and they didn't buy them. They actually before Naughty Dog, they picked up fucking after Naughty Dog, at the time that they really wanted them to buy them, they brought Sucker Punch, and before that. To my gaming knowledge at that time, I thought they had already owned Insomniac. And learning last gen that they didn't when they brought Sucker Punch for Infamous, and then they ended up buying Media Molecule for Little Big Planet. I was like, okay, so do they own them because they making nothing but games for PlayStation? It was confusing to me as a gamer, as a younger gamer, than that they didn't own Insomniac, even though they were making two different IPs for them. Alternating last gen alone, you had 3 Resistance games. You had 3 or 4 Ratchet and Clanks last gen. You got Insomniac last gen. You only got 2 games from Insomniac this gen. If people really want to keep track, you got Spider-Man, 1 Ratchet.
I'm just gonna have a look real quick because. Try to look. I mean, I'm just trying to remember what. If I'm not mistaken, I think Sony's last studio acquisition was what? Early PS3.
Yep.
What was it? Was it Sucker Punch? I'm trying to think. Fuck. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it was Sucker Punch or it was Guerrilla Games. I don't know. That's the problem. Because the thing, like I was going to say, man, PlayStation haven't acquired a studio in a long time. We're talking decades. We're not, like, there's been it's been like a decade, like, I don't know, like 13 years? I don't know, something like that. Let me have a look. Founded until the company in 2011. Okay, so, yeah. So... acquired Sucker Punch. Yeah, so it was in 2011 that Sucker Punch were acquired. Oh god. For the games, I'm not mistaken with them. God. Oh god. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Because they were 2011. It must have been 2000, right? Yeah, so no, it was Sucker Punch, yeah. So again, Sucker Punch was acquired in 2011. So it's been a lot. It's been a fucking few years since they got a studio.
Since they got since they brought anybody, right?
So,
yeah.
But since they bought someone.
No. Hold on. Did they make a video just doing that the game with the boy with the paintbrush? I want to say Spirited Away. I know it's not called Spirited Away. You know the boy with the graffiti?
You mean Concrete Genie?
There you go. They brought that studio or they made the studio because it's the first party.
Mm-hmm. Pixel Odd Version. I don't think they acquired them. If they did, I mean,
yeah, because that's their studio, bro. I was wondering about that too, and I heard that they acquired them. I didn't hear that they made them, but they could have made them. We just don't know. But from what I heard, they acquired them, and I was wondering when and like if they did, they must have did a long time ago. But
what for you? So again, yeah, it's an in-house. Yeah,
it's an in-house studio. They made them.
Yeah, 2014. But again, I'm talking about big studios. I'm not talking about indie studios.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, big studios. Sucker Punch, last one, 2011. Not bad. So we were talking about Remedy, Blue Point, and what's the other one that you thought they would buy?
Remedy, Blue Point, and House Marquee. The only other one that I was talking about was Supermassive Games, which made Until Dawn, and they're making this new thing.
Yeah.
Because Sony are allowing them to make this new, boat mystery, whatever the fuck it is, for multiplat. And I'm probably guessing for them just to test the waters, see how it goes. But the main three are, like you just said, House Marquee, Blue Point, and Remedy. Obviously, again, we discussed, Insomniac. A lot of people talk about them. And to us, I would like them to be bought. Yes, everyone would. But then for me, I say that, and then I go back to the point of, what's the point in... It's like saying, what's the point of going to the market and getting this when you can get it for free, right?
Exactly.
And that's what PlayStation do. There's no point in PlayStation buying them for whatever, 1,000, 100,000, or millions of dollars when your partnership's already good enough to be like, listen, you can do whatever you like. When you want to make a AAA game, you can just come over to us. We know that you've done it for Xbox. It didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to. So at least your games over here will be much appreciated and beloved. So Ratchet & Clank was a great game for the first start. Resistance, a game that, review-wise, it was, not bad. It was good. But, it has a fan base, but it wasn't up in the millions and millions of people that played that. That's probably because PS3 wasn't as popular as what the PS4 is. And the PS2. And then, then you got Spider-Man, which, of course, that's easily to be sold, but that game could have been really fucking bad and shit the bed, but it didn't. Mm-hmm. It was very well done, very well handmade and crafted, and it sold. And to this day, as we know, they've been bringing out suits, and I can see them doing the same thing when the anniversary of the game comes out, which is in September. I wonder what they're going to do there. I can see them doing something for that game. A special thing. Depending on what it'll be, I don't know. But, again, that will happen. The fact of the matter is, I don't think... a lot of people, like myself, don't think that just needs to be done. Like you said, right? I mentioned to you yesterday, they were... When it came to Naughty Dog and Insomniac, and who, PlayStation wanted to acquire, they acquired Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Not completely, but in some rate, Insomniac were a bit fucking pissed off about that. It's all right, fuck it. But it didn't hurt because they're still making games for you, so why not? Obviously, we've got other companies that we spoke about, haven't we? We always mention them, but, I mentioned to you, what is it? Yeah, I mentioned it to you yesterday. People were talking about studios, but there have been points where PlayStation have talked about publications. And two of the publications that would be very interesting for Sony to acquire are Capcom, which is the bigger one, and Square Enix. And people will think I might be crazy if they were to go for Capcom, but in my eyes, I don't think that's a crazy idea. They've always been a part of Capcom. Well, they've been with them. I think the only games that I've seen on Microsoft's stage that have, not been on PlayStation, like Devil May Cry. That's it, really. I'm like, so the strength's still there. Just depends on if, Sony want to do that. There's that. There's creating new studios. They can do that. Start off small, work their way up. But it's all up in the air, man. We're waiting for the next state of play. We're waiting to see if PlayStation will do a PlayStation experience at the end of this year. Might do. We don't know. Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. I just think that what just seeing something like this at the time we're seeing it, at the very end of the generation, it's like when Bungie left fucking Microsoft. It's very similar to that. It's when Bungie left Microsoft to make Destiny at the end of last gen. It's just like that, bro.
It's
Microsoft
different.
has been no, it's similar. It's very similar.
No, I was gonna say it's different. The end of this generation is different to last generation. The way it's acting, anyway.
Oh yeah,
last generation, you had,
But people are leaving Microsoft. That's the similarity I'm saying.
No, that's true. Yes.
Yeah,
that's completely true.
Yeah, they don't like look the direction Microsoft. Look, I give them so much credit. Last gen, look way better than this gen. I don't care if I hated the fanboys. I don't care if they were playing dirty. I respect Microsoft and their fighting spirit last gen. No matter how I acted or what I said last gen, I respect them so much from last gen. And I respect them the generation before that, getting into this market and fighting. I respect them so much. But this gen, I mean, no fighting spirit. I don't even think from the beginning. Yeah, they started off wrong, but they were so fucking full of themselves. They didn't even look at the comments. They didn't even look at the feedback, and they just went straight forward. When Sony made those jokes about, how this is how you play games with your friends, bro. I had at that point in time, it was pretty much over for Microsoft.
I'm just looking at something in your comment section. I've just pulled it up and I've just muted it because obviously the feedback.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull something up because again, I've mentioned this a few times, and I'm actually, I'm one of these people that I would love to see a revive of a studio. Gentleman Gamer, I wish Sony could revive one of their closed down studios, developers, and he responds with, Evolution Studios, which again we all liked, Motorstorm, Drive Club.
Oh yeah,
had a rocky start. It is a popular game, and one of them, which over the two, I would probably pick is Zipper Interactive. Again, SOCOM and MAG. Two games where I look at the Battle Royale scene, the massive player counts in a map, and I'm like, if they were to make MAG this generation, or a SOCOM game this generation, that shit would have been eaten up like a perfect fucking homemade apple pie. It would have fucking been devoured by people. Devoured by people to fucking play that game. I remember when they showed that Predator game, people said SOCOM, then it went to being Predator. I was one of those people. I was like, oh, damn. Because, again, Zipper, I feel like if they were to do that, I would love to see Zipper Interactive come back. 100%. Because, again, PlayStation quoted this, and Shuhei has said this. The only thing that PlayStation has lacked this generation is multiplayer games. Good fucking multiplayer games. The only one that I can refer to is, Last of Us Remastered, but that wasn't really this gen, so it will have to be Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. So, like, if Zipper were to make a game, that would have been good for PlayStation on the multiplayer end. But if they were to revive Zipper, that would be brilliant for next gen because that would counteract the whole aspect of, or it'd be a good step forward anyway for multiplayer for them. So I agree with Gentleman Gamer 100% on both those studios, but Zipper Games more, I would probably say, out of the two. Definitely out of them two. I'll definitely go
So
Zipper.
you pick Zipper?
I'll pick Zipper.
You know why I'm
Just based
picking
on
Evolution? Because I would have loved to see what a Motorstorm looked like on a PS4 with this power and this engine, whatever engine they could have used. And I think it would have blew the fucking
yeah.
It would have blew away Forza Horizon. No questions asked.
This is what I mean, bro. I mean, I was looking forward to a Motorstorm game.
It was just fucking awesome, bro. Drive Club to this day still unmatched by a lot of Forza games released this gen. It was such an amazing game, still is. I mean, oh my god, it's fucking crazy,
I mean,
bro.
the thing is, I don't know. Like, again, I remember when I mean, Motorstorm was a good game. Motorstorm 2 was a good game. I played Motorstorm Pocket, but a lot of people, I feel like, out of the 3 games, Motorstorm the Pocket sort of went downhill for people. Like, what people were predicting, I don't know, like, wanted. But I don't know, like, even then, like, I don't feel like that, and even Drive Club, I don't feel like that should have been at the end of them, really. It's just, to me, that kind of feels like Criterion Games with Burnout Paradise. Again, that was really, like, a really good fucking racing game, and then they got put on Need for Speed games, and then now they are pretty much, they're just a hollow shell of basically a company that used to exist, and you don't see those games come out of them anymore. It's like, it's bad. Like, I would love to see an old Burnout game, and when it comes to Evolutions, it's the same thing. I love to see a Motorstorm game, you know, HDR, you know, 4K, whatever, you know, in a tropical island racing, like, you know, in, was it Motorstorm Pacific Rift? Imagine that game remade for PS4. That would be stunning. Like, the colors, everything would be beautiful. But again, it's like, it's just, again, it's, I don't know, man, it's like, PlayStation's done so well for story-driven games this generation.
You heard that the creator of Gran Turismo is talking about a new Gran Turismo is in the development.
Yeah, I know. I saw that this week. I wasn't surprised by that though, because
I'm not either.
Because
I hope
he
has a successor, but you know, it's like, you know, everybody's getting older now, so.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right? They've been doing updates like a sports game for like a long time. And I've always been thinking to myself, they are definitely in the background making the next, Gran Turismo game, whether it'll be 7 or.
It seemed like that engine was easy, you know, so it was good.
Oh yeah, big time. They're probably in front though with their engine. You see, they probably power up to be maximized, and then they just decrease it to whatever the PlayStation can handle. And what was it? There was a video recently with, was it 8K? 120 frames or something like that. I remember something like that, where they demonstrated Gran Turismo on, and a lot of people were very stunned by it. I think it was to do with their TVs, but it was real, like it was really being played, and it stunned a lot of people, like how well it looked. Yeah,
I remember that. It was on one of those 8K TVs.
Yeah, it's a new brand of them. Yeah, give me a sec. Just talk for a sec. I'm just gonna get my door.
Man, I can't believe how good Judgment looks. I gotta get back on that shit. Man. Oh, fuck. PlayStation got those games, man. That was a fucking good movie. Spider-Man, people. Gotta go see that shit. I might see that shit a second time. Let's see that shit in IMAX. Let's see. We got a lot of other shit to talk about. Let's go look up some of the worst fucking things to talk about, and that would be, let's see what we Yeah, let's see what we got to talk about for Metacritic scores, and we're also going to go over whatever is hot on Amazon real quick, just before Adam gets back. Here we go. So we are looking at those are movies, games. Here we go. Mario Maker 2 is sitting at an 89 on Metacritic. We have Crash Team Racing, the PS4 version is the highest rated version, sitting at an 84. Bloodstain is sitting at an 84. Sea of Solitude is sitting at a 72. And the Sinking City is also sitting at a 72. So, that's what we're looking at for the scores. Every game is a multi-plat except for Mario, which is exclusive, of course, but I could care less. Because as you already know, if you have Little Big Planet or Dreams, you can basically make Mario inside of those games. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of buying a game that only specifically allows you to make Mario levels. The World Ends With You final remix is coming to the Switch. I did not know that. $20.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Sushi Strike is coming to the
that. I mean, like, based on the Remedy stuff and all the acquisitions, I mean, is there anything much to talk about on that?
I don't want to fuck up your train of thought, but Spider-Man is trending again, and it's still a $30 game on Amazon, but it's trending right now on Amazon's bestseller at number 18, and that's probably due to the movie. The Red controller is also trending, probably due to the Spider-Man movie. So this is, that promotion you were talking about on Twitter. I agree, man. I agree so much. Sony did an amazing job promoting their biggest exclusives.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they did a great job, man.
Yeah, they've been promoting their games really well. I mean, just over advertisement, like this gem, they've done such a fucking great job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Spider-Man was a really good one. Like they.
Oh yeah, the train. Yeah, they had the train in New York City. That was dope.
Yeah.
Every display they had for Spider-Man at all these different events last year was amazing. From E3 to Comic-Con, Tokyo Game Show had a good display for Spider-Man. They did a great job. And of course, Spider-Man would have sold itself probably just fine, but that push they gave it and the support that this game continues to get from free DLC and free updates is just amazing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw anything like it, man. You don't see shit like this, I'm
just trying to remember, like, I mean, God of War did a good job.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like the new game plus update, and you got the new armor if you finished it on artist difficulty. Yep. That was pretty. Mm-hmm.
I remember when I did it on Gimme God of War mode, like, I didn't even know you got, like, 2 shields if you complete it on the high setting. Completed it, I was like, oh, damn, these look fucking dope. Like, okay, cool.
Yep. I mean, that's what you got to do. So, it's still the beginning of July. We just stepped foot into July last week. Mm-hmm. Do you think my prediction's going to hold true? That this is the month that we get the update that it's at 100 million?
What was it at last time? Was it 96?
96.1 or something.
I'll say so, yeah.
So that was what, March? That was from March, right?
Yeah,
that's on March. So we got April, May, June, July. That's 4 months. I mean, come on, 4 months. You got to sell about 2-3 million. I don't see why not.
I'm just trying to think, like, what games are they? I mean, like, games.
But this is the pack I was talking about. They do have a fucking event in Japan.
Yeah.
If they time it right, that they could announce the shit. Because
this month? The thing?
Yeah, on the 15th. It's in the middle of the month. Smack dab in the middle of the month.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. Because, see, in Japan, it'll be Monday. In the UK, it'll probably be early Monday. But in the United States, it'll be Sunday evening. So by the time the news really does come it'll be a Monday announcement that it's at 100 million. So
I expect, because obviously Kadira, he took over. His original role was what Jim Ryan has, but he allowed Jim. Well, no, wait. Yeah, so Jim Ryan took over. Yeah, Jim Ryan took over Kadira's role, so that I think he could head up the online basis of PlayStation. I'm not correct. I'm just trying to think. So Kadira will probably definitely be there, and if so, depending on what they do, to be honest, at this conference, but I would suggest that they probably will talk units, services, and stuff like that. You know, how much sales? I mean, they would. I don't see them not doing it. So I hope they do. It'd be great to see 100 million, by the end of the year, or just in general. I think somebody did a chart. Apparently, PlayStation are on track to beat him to selling 150 million, so beating the PlayStation 2, which is ridiculous. I mean, I didn't think that would ever happen, but they are on track right now still. But they've got new consoles coming out, so that could digress very quickly. I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I can go for PlayStation though, man. It really is.
Yeah, I think PlayStation's good, but look, I'm seeing if we can get a pattern for this event on the 15th. Remedy Sony finalizing the acquisition of Remedy, and then sometime in the middle of all of that, announcement that the PS4 is at 100 million. I don't need this announcement, but I did predict that it will be this month. That means it gave them 3 months to get 4 million plus to get there. So
I mean, even if they don't do it, they will get when they reach 100 million.
They're not doing a plus though. What they're doing is they're just going to announce, bam, it got to 100 million. They're not going to say, 100 million won. As soon as it gets to 100 million, they're releasing that update. Yeah.
Yeah. You see, I don't they could announce that a month after, and they'll be like, yeah, we hit this number in July. So it doesn't have to necessarily be on July.
Yeah. Somebody told me in the podcast, I think it was last week, that it will be in October. I don't think we're waiting until October to get the update that they're at 100 million, unless there's some strategy behind it.
When it comes to specific months, where would be a dead ass answer, would be March, because every March, at the end of March every year, it's the financial aspects, right? So if you want to get games out, consoles out, and bundles, you do it before March, before the financial year ends on these companies, because that way they can bundle that number together and then they can begin anew. That's how they always do it. So that's why Nintendo brought out the Switch when they did, because it was perfect time for them to be like, okay, financial year, boom, done. So I think it was after the financial year, so basically they could literally start that number of whatever it was that they wanted to predict, and then by that year being up, they could be like, oh, this is what we reached. Which they found out that they didn't exceed what they expected, but it did great nonetheless. For their first financial year of the console. I think they were just a bit overzealous on what they predicted.
Definitely.
Yeah. Again, I think because the console came out with Breath of the Wild, which was their launch game, which again sold them a fuck ton of units on the first part, but over the course it started to get a bit maybe not as much after. Yeah. You have to look at that sort of stuff, man. I know people don't look at the whole, stock market, financial aspects, but that's what they look at. How they can maximize their sales in every year, and that's one of them. Just the way you see.
Hey, it makes sense, man. It makes sense.
It's just business, man. It's business. I mean, they're not selling consoles, but it's business to them. You can't fuck around. No, Xbox can, but not PlayStation. No.
Look, we say it all the time, man. If it wasn't for Sony, man.
This generation was shit.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Sony fighting this hard and bringing out this quality of games, and we looking back at this whole generation, moving towards the end of this year, which is complete, it's about to complete this generation. Once we step foot in 2020, we're in next gen, but we're heading towards the end of this gen very rapidly. July will be gone before we wake up, like literally. It's July 7th. You know, the 15th is on its way. We'll be in the middle of July before we fucking know it. Long story short, for Sony to still go as hard as they are, you know, bringing out these quality games that we know about to drop, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us 2, which we need to talk about before we get up out of here. Some speculations and rumors about that, but they're going so hard at the end of the gen, man. I don't ever see anybody else doing this type of shit. Yeah, Nintendo has games at the end of the gen, but they're always cross-gen, like both of the Zeldas. What was it? It was sorry, I can't think. Twilight Princess was on GameCube and on the Wii, and then you had Breath of the Wild on a Wii U and the Switch. But Sony, they put out The Last of Us only on the PS3. Before they had the remaster for the PS4. Like, that was big. They were
that was a shock, though. That was a shock to the system for a lot of people.
Yeah. And I know they're going to end up doing the same thing. They're going to do the same fucking thing.
No, well, I mean, the only difference is people know that this game's going to be good because at the end of last generation, when they brought this game out, even Naughty Dog quoted themselves, they thought this game was going to tank. It didn't. It became one of the best generation. A lot of people said it was the game of the generation last year, and that was literally right at the fucking end.
Yeah,
right at the end. Like, how often do you see games right at the end of the generation where they just fucking pump that sort of shit out? It's ridiculous, especially for them because they made Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, and then they made this, and it was like a new IP. Oh, I don't know about that. Boom, here we go. Oh shit. Like, damn, that was crazy. Like, how the hell PlayStation, I mean, well, don't even know how that sort of went around with the idea of them making a new IP. However it went, it paid off. Definitely paid off. Man, they did such a great job of that game. And now a lot of people are waiting for that game. Everyone's always talking about it. Last of Us, if it comes out on the news, which it did do this week with the 4 editions, which again, I don't believe. Some of the editions, you know, people are looking really.
Yeah, we're talking about The Last of Us, right?
Yeah, the 4 editions that we got mentioned.
I believe it's possible, right? Okay, let's keep our minds open. The LE edition could be included with a fucking guitar. I'm just saying. We don't know what the LE edition really is. I highly doubt it's just going to be a new type of statue. It could be a new type of statue. I don't know. But the collector's edition is probably always promised, so far we know, with a statue. Yeah. So, you know, with the helmet thing for the Doom game, Naughty Dog could give you a fucking guitar signed by the LE actress or whatever. We don't know what's going on. But I will tell you one thing: The Last of Us is gonna sell like hotcakes.
Maybe a backpack.
Based off of what just happened today in soccer with the United States women team, that's gonna propel this game to another level that we already knew it could have reached. But there are gonna be a lot of females that want to play this game. And guys, this is a promise. I'm finishing The Last of Us tonight. We're gonna start streaming. Start streaming 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, East Coast time. I will let you guys know on Twitter. I'm running through the game tonight. It doesn't matter how long it takes me. I'm getting through it. Yeah, I'm about to do it, bro. On survivor mode, about to finish this long ass journey so I can start knocking off judgment and shit. But I gotta say, this game is gonna be empowering for a lot of women. I mean, like, I'm a guy, you know, I'm not a big SJW, and I don't really support the, you know, the
well, this game is not, again, right?
The game itself is magical.
Here's my view on this whole SJW shit, and especially with this, I'm gonna say with this game, right? Because of the first game, and this is me just looking at the first game mainly, they did not force the SJW aspect, so like the empowered, like, young female lead, or eventual lead, shall I say, and then the aspect of Ellie being gay. They did not force that shit in your mouth, or like,
yeah, they didn't. Look, I didn't know she was gay until somebody spoiled it. The what was it? The expansion for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I played a good amount of it, and it never came up that she was gay.
I think the only time she spoke about Riley, like, actually mentions her name, is literally right at the end of the main game. And even then, you're like, oh, she's just a friend. It's like, oh, maybe.
Exactly.
She might not be.
When I was playing through, what was it? What's the DLC called? Because I don't want to. Left Behind. When I was playing Left Behind, I looked at it like, okay, this is post-apocalyptic. It's two girls that are best friends. They're trying to survive through this fucking, and I loved it. And I got to go play that shit again because, you know, I'm going to definitely want to play that leading up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm glad that I got this far because I have chapter select and I want to do some comparisons, of course, some graphical comparisons and everything else. But I just think it's just, I'm so excited to play Last of Us 2. The more that I play The Last of Us 1 again, it's going to be awesome, man. Because, see, this is my second playthrough in all of the time that the game has ever existed. I did one playthrough for The Last of Us on a PS3 when it came out. And then this was my second playthrough ever. And that's that fresh experience that I like to get sometimes from movies and, you know, maybe even animes. I might go watch this one anime that is 300 episodes long. I might. It's Fairy Tale. Because I haven't watched it in many years. And when you get this new fresh look at things when you're older and you understand different things, it's like watching it's I love doing that shit so much, man.
Yeah, man, it's a different perspective, bro. Like, I mean, like I was saying, man, like, I mean, I see a lot of, I mean, this is not just revolving around games. This is revolving around films and stuff like that. Like where, and like, not an agenda, but like a thing, whether it's race, whether it's, you know, sexuality or like empowerment, you know, females. There's a lot of times where you can see it and you feel like it's forced, right? With this, it's a sense of, you know, it's not forced because in the first game, it was so subtly done. It's like, yeah, you know, very slowly generated like, oh, she's gay. And the sense of they didn't force you to like Ellie. You know, at first, I didn't like Ellie. I like certain things, so I thought she was a really bad-mouthed little shit. But then all of a sudden, you get to the point where, like, you know, when you get to David, you're like, I'm now starting to like Ellie more and more. Like, and especially in Pittsburgh, where Joel gives her the rifle and trusts her with a gun after Sinead kills him with the fucking pistol that she grabs in Pittsburgh. Like, that was a good scene there because it was like, oh, okay, now Joel's understanding shit. And then you look at the second game. I'm like, when I heard that you're going to play as Ellie, I was not in any fucking sensible way, like.
No, look, when I heard that Ellie was going to be the focus, it makes a lot of sense. We know Joel is getting older. He had the serious injury.
Oh, 100%.
It's called character development, gentlemen.
Oh, God.
Oh,
it's fucking God. I was listening to a vacuum. Shit. The power of dream with this one.
Yeah, but the bottom line of it, man, is.
But yeah, he got. See, a lot of people think, oh, the shit went through. That's a back injury. He fell from, and he was an old ass man at that time. So he probably got back pains and some more shit. Been shot at multiple times. Let Ellie take over. Do I think you're gonna be able to play as another guy? I don't know. I think there's gonna definitely be some portions where you play as Joel. But what I was telling Yella yesterday, and what I said in the podcast yesterday, I can't wait to see what Joel looks like in this engine.
Oh no! I mean,
I can't wait to see what it looks like.
I wonder if they're gonna do. I've been wondering this myself because obviously when they demonstrated Ellie's Roth character model, they had a side-by-side comparison of Ellie's face from Last of Us 1 and then obviously Ashley Johnson's face. And they did like I think it was like a 75 to, oh God, it was like a 75, 25, yeah, 75% to 25% of, 75% Ellie from, the first model and 25% of Ashley Johnson's face. And because obviously Ellie looked like, what was it, Ellen Page from the actress. They wanted to sort of change that in a sense with this game, and they did. They put Ashley Johnson's sort of structures, like either whether it's the nose, whether it's the mouth or eyes. They've actually changed. You can actually see a bit of Ashley in there, and I think to myself, I wonder if they've done the same thing with Troy Baker and Joel, and I think they would. I think they would do some sort of subtle differences, not a lot. Just a little bit of subtle differences. Because again, Joel's old enough. He doesn't need to grow. He's already grown. Like, he's a full-grown man. So it's like, okay, cool. So, yeah. Again, like, we've only seen, what? 3... I'm trying to think now.
But yeah,
no.
Three trailers?
Two trailers. No, 2 trailers.
Wait up. Has it been 2 or 3? Because sometimes it feels like 3.
It feels
I think it's
only
only been 2 because the one we got last year was 8 minutes long, right?
Yeah,
8 minutes of gameplay.
It's 2 because this first is her playing the guitar, Joe walking in, and the second one is the actual gameplay. So it's 2.
Yeah.
That was the first one. That was the launch, and then we had the second trailer, which was with the Asian.
But you want to know what I want to say to Yellow real quick? When he says that the first one. The second one was gameplay, but the first one wasn't. The first one was in game, and that's what we expected from from Halo.
What do you mean, captured an in-game engine?
It would look convincing.
Yeah,
it didn't look convincing because I guarantee you, I guarantee anybody can do this right now. Go look at when Ellie was that gameplay or in-game. What is it? Cutscene that we saw where Ellie's playing a guitar on a bed.
That's the reveal trailer.
Compare that shit to Halo. I guarantee
you don't need to because
Halo don't look anything like that, bro.
You had that trailer. You can literally grab that trailer and then grab the second trailer where we got the presumably Ellie's mum being this character. Put them side by side. It's running in the same exact fucking captured engine, maybe even better than the fucking first one. And then you look at the gameplay trailer we got last year with Dana and Ellie, and then the gameplay itself. It's literally not like they are pretty much similar, but in the sense of it gets better in the sense.
Well, with that being said, that's 3 trailers if you think about it.
It is definitely it is 3 trailers and gameplay. It is kind of 3 trailers and gameplay, yes.
Because I forgot about her mom. Because remember when the militia, or whatever you want to call it, started basically
that was the introduction to the cult, which I forgot its name now. But yeah. It's literally been 3 trailers. It's crazy because, like, I would probably presume the next trailer of the game would. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I feel like it's gonna be like the final trailer, or like the second.
I think that it'll be the final trailer before the game, but they're gonna do something similar to like The Last of Us and Days Gone. Remember Days Gone a lot? Sorry, Days Gone and Uncharted 4. Remember Uncharted 4 had a lot of gameplay. And even God of War did this, and they had a lot of gameplay trailer, but they had that one CGI trailer. I think they're gonna do that.
Yeah, they had the CGI trailer where he was on the beach.
All 3 of them had that one CGI trailer. Like Days Gone, God of War, right? When he had he was dealing with the axe, right? He had that one CGI trailer, and we didn't think we were gonna get it for Uncharted. We did get one CGI trailer for Uncharted. It was only for
That was a lot. That was the tease. That was the first teaser. The 2 bits of gameplay we saw was one.
No. There was another. That one ended up being in game. It was for advertising.
Mm-hmm.
It was on a burning ship. Remember that one?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I think Last of Us is gonna get that type, but like later, like Days Gone had a ton of gameplay videos before they even released that guy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I think that if we're looking at everything, just take Days Gone for example, we're probably gonna get two more. A good
Well,
gameplay
it's
trailer,
trailers.
and then another one, and then of course they're gonna have to cut up their advertising. Like,
Yeah. Yo, Jay, is your mic all right, man? Or are you far away?
oh, I hope
All right,
it's all right.
Keep breaking up.
You'd be a bit breaking up. Yeah, but like, what's cool again? Like, when it comes to Uncharted, I remember the beach, the announcement trailer was the beach trailer. Then they had the PSX gameplay, which was the jungle.
Better now?
Yeah.
What?
Is it better now? Is my
Yeah.
better? Okay, cool.
Yeah, the jungle encounter, which they showed at PSX, that was the first gameplay. Then they showed the Madagascar, and then the uncut Madagascar, which is technically 2, but I just count it as 1. Then they had the whole TV spots of the Thief's, the Thief's End sort of thing. And again, I see them doing that for obviously Last of Us, the TV spots. But for me, I thought that they're done with the trailers. The first 2 trailers, and obviously the gameplay. So I'm expecting maybe one more gameplay, maybe, and then like another trailer, and then TV spots here and there. And that's
to be honest with you, I think they're done. I think it's just because of the release of Death Stranding.
That's what I'm thinking. Right? I feel like they've done enough to show you it, but then people want to see that one more bit of gameplay or a trailer that has gameplay in it, and then they're done.
Well, I think they're like I said before, man. I think it's because of Death Stranding, the release window. They don't want to release it too soon and basically burn the hype down. So pretty much, I guarantee they have the calendar marked and they're basically just counting down. Because I guarantee the game is done, man. The game is done.
Yeah, look, this was the same shit that we dealt with Days Gone. Days Gone was fucking done before February.
Yep.
Yeah,
that game was done. But you don't want to fuck up what you was dealing with Spider-Man. Spider-Man lasted the hype. That game, it just lasted for a long time, bro.
A damn long time.
Yeah.
We're doing it, man. But yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So
truthfully, it's my humble opinion, it's still lasting because during the state of play, they had it on sale for $20.
Yeah, it's on Amazon's bestseller right now at the 18th spot due to the movie.
It's crazy.
It went back up and it's $30 and it still went back up to the 18th spot. Pretty dope.
That is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that game's definitely being 15 million. Probably gonna sell 15 million. No doubt about it. By the end of this year.
Just keep doing it.
This was that golden goose, bro. I mean, when we got the word that this game was gonna be exclusive, even now I still can't imagine that we got a Spider-Man game, the best Spider-Man game ever created, with 42 fucking costumes. 42. That's the record of Spider-Man costumes in a video game.
That's a record for any costumes in game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a lot. More than Batman, more than all of them. Shit.
The whole generation, man, all the numbers of their games have been extraordinarily well. Like, I didn't even expect vast majority of their games, I didn't expect them to reach over 10 million, but they have, and even more than that. So, like, just keep going, I guess.
Yeah, just keep going, man. Keep going.
Well,
I mean, you know what I want them to do? They can do big numbers, what they're doing right now by, showing off those trailers. That you got the Spider-Man Far From Home outfit on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook, YouTube. You should advertise.
It's great marketing.
Put it on TV. Go put them on TV. Say, hey, after you go watch Far From Home, go play Spider-Man. Where you have the outfit for free. Put those advertisements that you've already put on the internet. Put the motherfuckers on TV. Just do it, man. Just do it. It will sell so much, bro. It is. I mean, what they're doing on the internet is good. Everybody is on the internet, so everybody saw it. I'm not saying that more people are on TV nowadays than the internet. Because everybody has access.
Yeah, most of the things, you watch all your things on your laptop or PC, whatever.
Exactly.
You watch everything on that. You don't need a TV anymore. It's like mobile phones and home phones. You don't need a home phone anymore because you got a mobile phone.
Well, that's also the same thing, bro. By you saying that kind of triggered my membrane as well. You don't even need dreams if you're trying to play Spider-Man. So
shut the fuck up. Cut that out. The rest of the Power of Dreams.
I don't know, bro. It's
the crazy thing is, man, I'm over here doing this podcast with y'all and I'm on the go right now. So
I bet I know. West Carolina. Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
We got 9 minutes. Anything else you wanted to bring up, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, what we discussed, obviously, you guys opened up with the Xbox thing, and obviously, from what I remember, when I was looking at you, obviously, you talked about Xbox and.
Oh, I wanted to ask this one. I shared this with the Legion last night. What's your thoughts on this? Don't Think Battle Royale free-to-play game. It's coming to PS4.
I just have it on my fucking laptop right now to look. So
yeah. I liked it. It seems like it. Dark Horse Comics, the video game section of them, I didn't even know they had it. Mm-hmm. It's that more of the people want a battle royale will have them transform into werewolves. Of course, they would do more damage and they can move faster. But I like it. It's going to be free. I'm going to definitely test it out this week, put some gameplay up.
Is it free? Oh, no, it's free. All right.
Yeah, it's free. It's free to play. But yeah, man, look, just because the game's not big doesn't mean PlayStation don't have games.
Well, no, that's like any fucking PC Battle Royale game, like, what's it called again? Battalion, which has become a big fucking World War II shooter in the PC circuit right now. Like, a lot of people, like, streamers and everything like that, are playing that game because most of the people that are playing it, streaming-wise, got on playing video games when Medal of Honor was in its high note, and Call of Duty 1 and 2 were a big thing.
So this Royale, I'm looking at the gameplay. It was old. The gameplay I'm about to look at is 7 months old. I think we're gonna do the proper thing and share before we get up out of here. So guys, we're going to share. But it looks like it came over Chinese or Japanese, and it looks dope. It looks way better than all of the other ones. Realistic, good graphics. I can't wait. But it is good. It didn't start on PC. It actually started on. It started on PS4. The beta was on PS4. So this is actually exclusive coming out. It's another launch exclusive. I'm talking about this with Lincoln that developers know they are sell more. They even pretend for a couple of months that the game is only on PlayStation. Yeah, they know that means. They know what exclusive.
PlayStation, they've mentioned this before. They've mentioned this before.
Oh, fuck Jesus Christ!
What?
Look at that!
Wait, what?
Got character models. Oh.
Oh, you actually watched?
Look at that! Oh, hold on.
Jesus Christ, I just saw that shit. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? I just looked over his stream. You saying dreams again? Stop saying dreams.
Oh, they got a character customization. You can pick a female or a male. I'm really hyped up about this. This
basic stuff.
Gameplay or Don't Even Think. We have our lawyers standing by because I think thematically they don't even think about it in reference to Carl O'Malley. And it seems like they've taken another word to thematic say, and it is actually a game. The Walker is also a game. The thematic. Think it's fun on that. So it looks like you came out of jail. Got a lot of jail clothes on. It looks dope. Customization interface is solid. Standard issue online multiplayer. Don't even think. I think over here it seems like you got some other clothing you can put on. It reminds me a little bit of what is it? Is it H1Z1 that we was playing this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. At that, but it looks more polished. The graphics look better. The character models look more authentic. It looks more up to date as far as a battle royale. It doesn't look like your older one. This one's clearly new. I like it so far. Let's go see what else we got. Let me see.
Still look, I didn't see the gameplay or not. Sorry.
It has trophy support people. That's good. And I like the little loading screen. The loading screen's dope.
I'm just skimming through it. You got little things here and there.
Okay, here we go. I got some gameplay real quick.
Yeah, I'm just skimming through it. I'm not watching the whole thing. Just skimming through it. It was like I'm not being rude. It felt like a rough.
This is from the beta, guys. This is the beta from 7 months ago. But it looks like you have a nice town. It looks like you do seem to have vehicles. There seems to be a school bus there. I'm not sure if she's going to get it.
Question
version of PUBG in a sense.
Does it have water?
It looks like there's some water right there on the map.
Yeah, it looks like a rough version of PUBG in a sense, like not in a bad way. It just looks like a rough version. But this is again like it's a bit old from like last year.
I think the whole battle royale genre is getting milked out. I mean,
definitely.
The fan base is still there, but
it took a little break though for a couple months because I haven't heard about battle royale for so long. Yes. I thought that what's that game Utah's doing? Watch Dogs Legion. They're talking about like over 100 characters you can take control. I'm like, why not make it a battle royale? Have 100 people inside the city helping each other at the same time instead of you just can control over 100 people. So it looks like when you pick up
that game specifically, I remember a lot of people talking about it, right? And even myself, that shit. When I saw that was very like I've not seen that in a game at all. So and that's a very ambitious idea. I hope it works, but we're gonna have to wait and see on that. Like, that is an ambitious fucking idea for them, especially.
Definitely, and it's big, but I would love for them to talk about the multiplayer, which if they announce that there's no multiplayer, but you can control over 100 people in this whole city, I'm gonna be kind of worried. But it looks like your standard issue battle royale, but it looks like it might be exclusive. It actually came out of left field because I didn't know anything about this game. I didn't know it was exclusive, but these are the things that, Sony definitely could have went to E3 and talked about, or even talked about it in the State of Play. I think their format for State of Play is very nice and very sleek and professional, but they need to talk about more. It's always something that you're always missing out on. Like, the next time we see them at State of Play, they gotta have more to talk about.
I wonder what it's gonna be because
sedan type of car. I think it might be an SUV. And I mean, I've been seeing nothing but
That looks like a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
That looks like a Volkswagen.
So I'm happy that you got vehicles. You're not gonna be on your feet with that. Car models look good. Like you got a spy drone on it. You got people dropping down. Builders don't look half bad. I'm definitely gonna test it out. I'm spending a good amount of hours on this. You guys will run down. If anybody wants to play this with me this week, or when I test this out, let me know. It seems like you can't go inside the building.
Oh no, it's weird though, because like from the trailer I just watched about werewolves and stuff like that, and they got STGs, like that's World War II weaponry, and then I'm looking at this and it looks like a modern aspect, like it's definitely different. Like, the idea must be different in a way, man, because this doesn't look like what you saw in the trailer.
Months ago, this is a beta or alpha from.
Yeah, no, this must have been like a demo of like how they pick up shit. This doesn't look like the game that we saw just a minute ago.
Yeah,
that looks.
It looks different.
It looks different. Yeah, definitely.
I hope it feels solid. I hope it's still
of course.
The only battle royale where you can't fucking create your own character at this point in time now is Fortnite. That's the only the biggest battle royale.
That's because they want your money, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I'm gonna be testing this out. I'm gonna be testing this out.
And I mentioned this before, man. Even though like a lot of people stream Fortnite, the numbers of Fortnite have gone down quite a bit. Like based off of last year, where it was when it was at its peak, it's slowly digressing, and it's not even because of other battle royale games. It's actually slowly digressing because I think people are getting to the point where they're understanding that these seasons are not as they're not as new as what they think they are now. It's just like it's the same shit over and over again. So I feel that when the next generation comes out, I feel Fortnite might adapt in a certain way. Sort of like what I saw from, if you are a fan of Warframe, they had TennoCon yesterday where they announced they finally did an intro cinematic trailer for Warframe, but also there's some really new cool expansions coming out for the game. And they talked about next generation consoles, stuff like that, how they're going to be revamping that to them, and it looks really promising, like really fucking promising. So I'm looking forward to that, man. I haven't played Warframe in a long time. I'll have to jump back into that game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man. I mean, I it's like every year is something that might want to bring me back to it, but I think the last time they had like an open world aspect, like you can go out into the wilderness or some shit. It's just a lot to download. There's a lot of content they've added. And
you need a good set of people to like communicate, and people that know what they're doing in Warframe, like how they build, how you trade, how you scavenge. Because again, like you need keys to get the very like the very luxury items like prime gear, whether it's gun parts or armor parts. And then you've got to build this shit in real time. Like, it actually takes you, like, 3 days to, like, build a fucking...
Okay, we're about to leave up out of here, but I got a very important announcement. Yella?
Yep.
I need you to speak up when you reply to me. Over 50 people have reportedly contracted herpes after drinking Instagram star Belly Dolphin's bath water. So if you brought that chick's bath water,
I did.
You know, with all the makeup she has on, you know she ain't but fucking real.
Wait, who's this?
The chick that was selling video gamer bath water. 50 people have contracted herpes.
I don't even know who this is. What's her name?
It's the chick with the pink hair and the pink everything, and she looks like a Japanese child star.
Do we know what her name is or not?
Belle Delphine. I don't know. I mean, she seems like some Twitch superstar or some shit.
Why the fuck would you drink bath water?
People brought it. That's the thing. Like,
they deserve to get herpes.
I know you're not supposed to drink it, but why would you buy somebody else's?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Dirty ass vagina bath water.
That's
her vagina,
what I'm saying.
Bro. Like, I mean,
ass flakes floating in the water.
Oh my God, bro! Come on, man. That shit's.
I don't look at this shit. Oh my God, I just found it. I just found a fucking thing, bro. Give me a sec, bro.
Oh my God, man. Don't buy everything you see on the internet, man.
Bro, it's okay to like advertise like G Fuel and shit. That's fine. That's all good. But when oh my Jesus Christ, man, I know who you're talking about, and I know this because I watched Pokemon.
What's her name?
So,
oh God,
she's about to go to jail, right?
What's her name, bro?
What's her last name?
her name is Belle Delphine. Delphine.
Delphine.
You don't pronounce it E. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Delphine.
We're gonna call her.
It's basically dolphin, but Delphine. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, she's a fucking dolphin.
But it literally says Instagram star sold her used bath water for $30.
She's going to jail though, right? And she's probably gonna be taken off of Instagram. They're probably gonna everybody about to report the fuck out of her. And then everybody about to laugh, like whoever these people are.
Oh God!
They about to be the laughing stock of the world at this point.
Fucking weird. They just are.
Look, man. I know people got these fetishes for feet and many other things, but come on, man. Drinking somebody like Yellow said, bath water that might have ass flakes in it, ass cheek flakes or whatever, corn flakes. We don't know.
Why? Listen, I understand you may buy bath water, but like, what are you gonna? I mean, listen, if you're buying the bath water just to get it and put it on your shelf, that's weird, but it's fine. But if you're buying that to like bathe in that shit, like, God, I just don't know.
You know, Americans have this God-like worshiping complex, bro, and it's like, especially in this day and age, where we gotta worship everything, bro. Like, there's some big booty chicks out there. I ain't giving them my fucking paycheck, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna do it. You might be nice, but you can't do it. It's the same like this. Okay, she looks cute, right? And she might look good inside of a bathtub, half naked, right? Although she does look like a little ass girl, so I can't be attracted to that. But drinking her bath water?
Like, wait, where is this? Wait, are people actually drinking the bath water? Are they actually drinking it?
Because 50 people got herpes, so they put it to their lips.
What did it say on the bottle? It gives you wealth. It makes you younger.
You know what, bro? You know what? You want to know what's real funny about that shit, bro? This sounds like some old time shit. You remember like the old time?
People would do that. They would buy. I remember watching a show where someone sold someone like some sort of liquid that apparently makes their skin younger. People drunk this shit, and it did not fucking do what they said. And it's funny because they end up trying to sue the person they bought this from because they thought it could make them younger. You are fucking stupid.
You know what she just did? Wes Dickens that ass. Fucking elixirs, man. Wes Dickens from Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right there, man. Holy shit, good reference.
Fucking Wes Dickens the ass. Snake oil.
Yeah, bro, snake oil.
Fucking snake oil salesman.
Oh shit!
Wasn't there like a random black guy that always got bitten by a snake, and you always came across it? I always came across it.
Adam. You're speaking of two people with ethnicity in this part. I don't like the way that's going.
What you mean? Fuck you, bro. You type of Red Dead Redemption snake bite. It's literally the same guy.
Yep.
I think I bumped into like 4 or 5 times. I was like, is this like a reoccurring thing for this one person, or is it just like a goof? I don't know. I did not know about that, man. That shit was funny to me.
Well, guys, we about to get out of here. I'm about to relax before I play the rest of The Last of Us.
Yeah, you better.
I gotta say, I heard about this all week. I think we all did. Last week too. I think that's when it started. But
what was that for?
I heard that people were
I didn't.
Why, bro? You know how desperate you look? You buying another chick's bathwater, bro. Like, okay, we got people in Japan with, what is it, the panty vending machines? But this is taking it to a whole new level. You're buying water somebody else's dirty-ass body has been in. And first of all, the jar makes the water look so good. It makes the water look clear. If that water is dirty, as we know it is, oh, there's a lot of shit you drinking. Oh my God, man! Come on, man.
Gooch sweat, dookie flakes, ass flakes,
God,
body sweat.
Really fucking
who's to say when was the last time she took a bath?
Exactly. You're not wrong, bro. When's the last time she washed that flange?
Look, man. Got a lot of makeup. To be honest, chicks that got a lot of makeup like that and look like they wholesome.
When was the last time she washed that clit?
Bro, dirtiest one, bro. They the dirtiest one. You see how she look? There's no way her fucking. Nah, man. Nah.
No, that's weird. I'm sorry. Low key. I know how fucked up people are in this world, man, but when I see this shit, I'm like, yo, you can't be that fucking stupid, bro.
Herpes, though, man. She dirty down there.
That's their fault. That's their fault, bro. That's their fault.
No, you can't. What's fucked up is most likely if that is true, she will get convicted. But at the end of the day, man, you can't convict somebody. Then you need to convict their dumbasses, bro.
No, that's what I was saying. That's why I didn't even go that far because it's like, why would you take her to jail? I mean, they brought it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, like,
that's like me. Hold on, so that's like me buying dish pods, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
and eating. Oh, I thought they were gummies. So you're gonna take, you know what I'm saying, the manufacturers that
but if it's like, I don't know, like if it says on this, if it says on the bottle, it's bath water that she was soaked. If it actually said that she soaked in or whatever that she was in, then you can't take a girl to jail because like it's on the fucking bottle.
Let's be 100% honest. No matter how it looks, no matter how stupid the people are that bought it, she is gonna serve some sort of time. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like,
what if that or she gets banned off of Twitch for a bit?
She definitely gonna serve some time at the bank. Counting that damn money she done got off all these goofy ass motherfuckers.
How much was that shit? $30?
$30.
So you paid $30 to get herpes, basically. Okay, that's what we doing now. You got people in the fucking grocery store licking ice cream.
Season pass herpes.
You got people licking ice cream and digging in ice cream with their dirty ass hands and shit. People just doing too much for the internet.
I had to do this. I just want to put this on.
Did you buy it? You brought it. He brought it.
No. Because I actually, you saying this, I remember Pokimane, another fucking streamer. She was on Twitter and she fucking yelled out. She basically stretched out to people saying to stop asking to buy her bathwater or for her to make bathwater for herself after this fiasco.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Even though this shit is happening to people, people are asking Pokimane to do the exact same thing. It's like, are you fucking dumb?
Will anybody buy my goat cheese water? Anybody? I'm selling it for $50,000. Fuck it. $50,000. Fuck it.
Will you take payments?
I take payments. I'm gonna put a goat in some water, and I'm gonna throw all different types of flavors of cheese in the water. Then I'm gonna take the goat and the cheese out the water, scoop it up.
Oh my god! I just found out, right. It says here, this bath water, which was packaged in a series of small jars that may or may not have included her own drool, as evidenced by an Instagram video promoting the product. Oh my god!
That's what I'm talking about.
Christ, bro. People bathing in their own fucking spit.
Bro, that chick that think that ice cream, you about to go to jail for 20 years tops. So I know this chick about to go to jail. Bro, man, this godlike worshiping complex, bro. People think they can get away. Just because you got a couple fucking stupid ass nerds worshiping you on the internet and you can't even see what they look like, you just gonna go all out like this? Somebody must have gave her the idea to do this.
She's wearing a swimsuit. She's literally wearing a swimsuit.
Well, from the sounds of it, bro, even if she got away with that shit, she's got to be a Trump supporter, bro. It's got to be.
Bro,
see, I've just got Pokemon's thing. It says, please stop asking me for my bath water. I take showers. Good girl. No, I haven't had a bath in a fucking lot. I haven't had a bath
bro. I do showers.
I don't want to be sitting in my own fucking like dirt, bro. Like, what? That's nasty. Nasty. Nah, that's a weird note to end on your weird note to end on your fucking live stream, Jay. But yeah, that is just.
It's a weird note to live on anybody's live stream, but I'm gonna see if Hard 8's talking about this shit because I think this shit's fucking.
Would do maybe, hopefully.
But guys, thank you for spending time with the PlayStation Legion. I know we didn't have all the members here. But people do have lives. We're always going to have an alternating cast of people. Thank you, Yella. Thank you, Lincoln, that was here earlier. I want to thank, our specialist over there from the UK, Adam Morse.
Adam Morse.
We're trying to remember, so if you guys are still listening at this point in time, if you have a headset, if you have a phone, if you know how to receive invites from Google Hangouts, let me know. Get at me on Twitter.
If you got a receding hairline.
Yeah, that too. My Twitter name is JaytechTV. PSN name is JaytechTV HD. Twitch name is also JaytechTV HD. And of course, Instagram is JaytechTV. I'll be seeing you guys later on tonight. I'm going to be finishing up The Last of Us, no matter what.
Yeah, you got it, that shit.
Yeah.
Shut up.